Hello, 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 and welcome to a brand new 1.31. And we are probably going to be attempting Lithuania. Barring any late changes, but we're pretty committed on that one. Now, why Lithuania? Well, the answer is because in 1.3, or specifically 1.3.6, they've megally buffed traditionalism, serfdom, and everything that can make a little old economy quite powerful. So I thought there's something we could seem to do on our own legs, really. Now, grannies have also been buffed to all hell, meaning population maxing is going to be quite positive, as they've really increased the amount of food storage they can give, meaning it's a lot more effective. But third and foremost is they have nothing. If you look at the RGO map mode, they literally have nothing. So we can create an economy out of nothing and prove that you don't need any big guns to succeed in EU5. Now, they've also got a little bit of flavour as well. Now, let's not look at France, let's look at Lithuania. They start with a very good ruler. Now, he is 62 mind, so we're not going to have his bust for long, but he's got some incredible stats. And we're going to need it, because we start a war with two of some insane of these military orders. And I don't know if you've ever played EU5 multiplayer, but you quickly realise how overpowered these military orders quite are, because they've got infinite manpower, they can just wipe pure professionals, and yeah, it's over before it's even started. We've got to hope that the AI doesn't really do that, but we'll definitely see. Now, a good thing is we don't have to play an Iron Man anymore. You can now get achievements, if you didn't know, as a 1.3.4 without being in Iron Man mode. I mean, you can go back and drop up saves if you mess up or if you have a crash, and that's definitely going to help us out. But it does mean that we have to have a cheeky look at the game rules quickly before we start. So, normal difficulties, historical AI, country change, absolutely. We'll keep the base mission trees off, they're not very good. I mean, yeah, well, would we really want them? Probably not. Flavour, formal countries that are plausible. I believe we'll just keep everything the same. Now, the one problem with 1.3.6 is that the Black Death just doesn't work, apparently. So we can definitely try this out for ourselves. But I've got it on good authority that it's being fixed in the next patch. So, it will make our early life a little bit easier for us. But I guarantee when we get to the 1.3.8 and we get hit by that second Black Death, we're not going to have fun. Let's keep that in mind as we get into the game. Now, in terms of Lithuania, they start with 20% crown power, not too bad. A very mixed culture map mode, which is going to be a problem for us. Same with a religion map mode. Albeit this is a religion I haven't had a chance to try out yet, so it's going to be quite interesting. What they do start off with is some unique content and flavour. So lands of many religions, which gives heretical and heathen tolerance. Migrant opportunities for migration attraction. Warlord dukes for noble levy size, which is cavalry, by the way. And army tradition. 2 realms for culture capacity. Monthly prestige, legislative efficiency, not very good. As you get further on, it gets a little bit better though. With crown power, papal relations, religious influence. That's actually got a very high amount of religious influence. That's going to be useful. Some orthodox buffs if we go down that route. And the Statutes of Lithuania policy, what does that give? That's revoke privilege cost, centralisation of free subjects. Very decent. Albeit I can imagine we'll be going serfed in this run. That's probably part of the plan. Research progress and army morale. Now that army morale is obviously going to be insane, but we've got to think about who we're going to form. And I think the Commonwealth is the obvious option, unless we want to go down a bit of a Russian route. That's definitely something we could do. We'll sort of figure it out as we go along. What I do also get, though, is this unique government reform here, giving tax efficiency for your peasants, peasant levy size, pop promotion speed reduction, and moving to serfdom faster. Now, if we can funnel that money into our peasantry, this one's going to be very effective. And which is a bit of a problem if you're going for a serfdom one. You're probably going to want to push your money into your nobility, but we'll see what equilibrium we can shake out. We could sort of go for an economy where we want to focus on RGOs and sort of serfdom without having to necessarily rely on the nobility taking all of it. But we can figure that out as we go through. Let's get cracking. Welcome to the stream, everyone. It's good to see you. So we start off with 2 possible rivals open to us. Now, we want the Teutonic Order as option number 1. In terms of our second option, we might want to hold it until we've dealt with this crusade in inverted comma marks. It's not exactly a very holy crusade, as they're going for their Christian brothers, right? But we need to see what we can do about that. Now, we might not be... No, we're not a Christian brother. We are the European folk religion. We get cavalry power, expand forestry cost, and slaves, which is quite cool. That will definitely help our early population issues, but we'll have to see where we go through. Sorry I'm late, not sure if you already went over it, but this is it a Catholic run or are you staying pagan? I'm not sure, I haven't really got an idea in that respect yet. We'll have to see where we aim up. But there's definitely a lot of options available to us. Now, let us plan this war. So that's obviously our biggest and, well, just the biggest issue really. So the Teutons, they've got about 3,000 troops. Livonians don't have that much, but they've got all of these fancy vassals as well. But we are on our own. So we need to make sure we don't mess it up. So we're going to move our army back into the middle to start with. We'll get our fancy king as a general. Get us the most amount of buffs possible. We shall put all of our vassals on supportive. Just so we can not fuck it up, really. Make sure we actually survive and get through to the end game. As starting a stream and losing to the Crusaders would be not our best start. But we'll have to see what we can get done. We will get allow attachment on, so they start heading over to us. Now, we've got some laws that we can start with as well. Quite a few, actually. So we can go for common language or court language. We've already said that we want to go serfdom. If you have a look at those buffs quickly, they are absolutely insane. And we definitely want to go down that respect. Raw material output, levy size, the building upkeep efficiency. This is going to get nerfed at some point, by the way. It's so overpowered, but we definitely can use it until then. So we will definitely start going for serfdom. So if we go back to that law set quickly, court language is going to be a good one. Cultural influence is a much better stat anyways. It allows you to integrate faster, which is going to be very good for us. Then we've also got anti-piracy law. I guess we'll stick with that. Our maritime law. Now, we don't necessarily want to go naval in this save. We probably want to go land, as we are quite landlocked at the moment. So we want to be quite careful in that respect, not just the Russian Navy. Probably want to go serfdom again, just to get that value maxed out as fast as possible. Laws not codified, allow slave religion or not. Are we spiritualist or are we humanist? We are quite spiritualist, and that probably makes sense. Let's stick with that. Here we go. Now, for our starting government reforms, we've got patrimonialism, which reduces our state power, which is very good, and pushes us to traditionalist, which is decent for us, but is quite bad in terms of our estate equilibrium and tax efficiency. We probably want to get rid of that one at some point. It's not the worst thing in the world. We'll just start with agricultural cultivation. In terms of our actual estates, though, is there anything we want to curtail before we actually get far into the game and start getting some power coming through? Now, we are very heavy into decentralized at the moment, but we can probably do a bit of a vassal spam, at least get some large vassals, maybe some dominions, so we can probably stay down that route for now. Hunting permits we want to get rid of because we want to push serfdom. Free mobility we want to keep just because it's that strong. So we'll get common militias, it's very good, especially for our levies in the early game, as that's what we're going to be reliant on. In terms of our burghers, they're decentralized, capital economy, and plutocracy. All pretty crap in terms of what we want to push, but I don't know if we want to deal with it this early, really. How are you going to go in to get dominions? Well, they're not just English only. It's not like a Brexit thing. You just need to get personal unions, and then you can ask them to be dominions. It's quite simple. It's a bit of a weird mechanic, but it is there. Religious Advisory Council is probably quite good. Get some spiritualism going. We are belligerent, I believe. Yes, we are. So if we push further down that respect, it would probably help us. In terms of our nobility, is there anything we want early on? I mean, that's quite crap. We'll leave away from that. Elite Council could be quite good. We'll definitely want to push aristocracy. I imagine we're down... Yeah, we are far down that at the moment. So we go for that. Elite Council. Anything else? I mean, serfdom could be quite good. Yeah, let's go for it. And... in here, really. Individualism. What's that unique urban right? Reduces... No, it gives enfranchisement. We don't really want that at the moment. Development grants, always quite good. We put that in. But we don't want to get our cost of court too low. In terms of our starting budget, we'll get our taxes as high as possible. Considering the war, let's worry about getting everything taxed as much as possible, rather than the fancy buffs we get from high satisfaction. Cut our diplo spending. Our trade expense, we'll get rid of our starting trades. Let's not waste that. and we have a possible religious aspect. What options do we have available to ourselves? So this is the pagan religion. We could do RGO size, decent. Pop growth, 0.01%, which is really quite substantial. We could think about that. Discipline, navy morale, movement speed, pop promotion speed, stab investment. I mean, morale could be quite good considering our starting predicament. But I think we'll be okay, just because of how many levies we start with. So let's start on the pop maxing already and get our pop growth going. Welcome to the stream, everyone. It's good to see you. I'm going to play Persia pop maxing, get it done. Persia's quite a fun run. I do this doing at some point. We're going to keep our second rival quite open at the moment, just because we could have issues that we want to sort out later on. We'll get a spy network on the Teutons. We shall get rid of our navy maintenance. That's not going to help us at all. Keep our minting the same. Building maintenance is fine. And we are currently selling food. And that's the big other strategy, what you can do in Lithuania, and that's a breadbasket build. Sort of something we really want to see is what can we get through maximising that. Now, there is an insane parliamentary reform that we want quite early called planned storage system. Just take a second to have a look at that. It's bloody insane, isn't it? RGO size, population capacity. You're going to be minted if you go down this route. The only problem is we need to be 50 of the way towards quantity, which is really hard to get down, even if you've got a 100, 100, 100 cabinet minister. And we definitely don't have that at the moment. So it's going to be a challenge, but that's what our focus is going to be on. Now, we can only have one cabinet member at the moment because of that bad government reform that we start with. We'll stick this guy in our cabinet. We will make him our head as well. Lovely. And we will start pushing him. We could go straight to serfdom, to be fair. Let's do it. Let's change the society values, serfdom. We'll get down there as fast as possible. There's some really good values down that way as well. Like universal serfdom and stuff is really quite strong. We could change this government reform. It would make our estates a hell of a lot more powerful, but allow us to tax them and give us another cabinet seat. And I think I'm convinced myself, actually. So our choice is essentially, do we want to go autocracy for the crown power, which is not bad at all? Or do we want to go feudal nobility to get more subject loyalty, traditional economy, and noble state satisfaction? We are very heavy traditional economy anyway, and we get some insane buffs out of that. If we buff our food production, our population capacity, that will help our pop maxing as well. So probably going for that is a good idea. And we'll go feudal nobility. Now, our stability doesn't like us at the moment very much, but it's not the end of the world. We probably want to see if we can get any allies, because the war's just started. No. So do we want to improve relations with anyone? Maybe the Polish, just try and get them on side quite early. I mean, who would ally us if we weren't at war? It doesn't let us see at the moment. Bad. And no, we're not going to get any easy ones, unfortunately. Golden Horde is right on our border as well, which is a problem for us. Maybe we could try buddying up to Novgorod and see if they're minus 177. That's insane. What is Poland though? Poland is. Oh, it doesn't let us allow them. Oh, I know we are already. Okay, that's fine. Let's just improve our relations with Poland and keep them on side. Now, for our starting researches, what do we want to go for? We probably want to push for institution growth, diplomatic capacity, and then RGO size and construction speed. Why not? We'll get the other stuff when a new age arrives. It's not the end of the world. Unmarried children, or we need diplomats for that. We'll let that happen as it does. Low labour days, that's fine. Rebellious estates. Is there anything we want to give to our peasantry? Well, we could give them. We don't want to protect their faith. We could give them something like decentralized. So commoners in the administration could be decent. Or communalism. Yeah, let's do that. Communalism can be quite good. Lovely. Hordes are your favourite and you can push quantity too. Yeah, we need to find a way to get 50 quantity. It's going to be really strong for us. Hello from Kansas. Hello! And yeah, we are hopefully going to do you proud. What else do we want to do before we start? Okay, so how are we doing in terms of our castles? We really don't... Oh, actually we have quite a few. They don't seem to be doing much though, as we don't have much stone. Okay, well we need to think about this 200 we got to start with, as it's going to be quite hard to get economic value to make that 200 worth it. So when you're building an economy out of nothing, the first step you need to do is focus on your high control areas. We've got these starting little provinces around here. Now, let's have a check for RGOs. Is there anything that could be really valuable for us? Well, this wall RGO is going to be quite good. But it's got quite a high lumber price, but maybe we'll get a few to start with. Just to, oh, but it's 100. Can we get anything even better for that 100? Let's have a look. So, masons, we obviously want to subsidise straight away for obvious reasons. That's good. So let's have a look at the masons. There we go. That would help us out. Lovely. We want the building cost reduction. Now, lumber mills are apparently really unprofitable, but I imagine that will stop pretty soon. Pools are apparently really expensive. We might want to go down that route quite early. I know we don't have any production efficiencies, but we can build new buildings. So we'll start with some burger buildings to sort of generalize Vilnius to see what an economy we can make. And our burger production is quite cheap at the moment. So we'll get some paper makers guilds, get some spinners guilds, some tailors guilds, and we'll get the basics done. After which we will keep a little bit in the bank to see what we can achieve after that. That should get us to a good start, really. I have no issues, especially now the beta. Our burger buildings really aren't that expensive. 27 is really cheap. The RGOs are because they're really expensive in 1.3. If you haven't tried 1.3 yet, they've really rebalanced the RGOs. We'll save about 100-ish for our next parliament, so we can get some building cost reductions, see if we get it cheaper. We don't want to rush and spend all of our money straight away, but we do want to get some of the basic goods sorted. Because I believe we are stuck in this Riga market yet, so we can't sort of forge our own future yet. Albeit, that could be something we want to sort of do quite early on, to create our own market. If we started a market in Vilnius, it would cost us 174. If we did one in Minsk, it would be 102. Why it's 102 there? I don't know, but I'm not going to complain about it. We could... Oh, it's further out. It's got less market access. Fair enough. If I wanted to do one, it would be in Vilnius. But is it worth 170 ducats? Probably not. Especially at this stage in the game. So we'll hold that for a little bit. If we do get a bit of a Black Death crisis, I don't know if it will actually spread at the moment, because that's the one big issue in 1.3.6. We'll be able to get a very cheap market, because our wealth and tax base will crash. So we'll be able to, we'll check it out at that point. I love whores, they're just in a frustrating spot. Yeah, they really are. But they are fun. But they definitely handled them better in EU4 than they did in EU5. But at the moment, that can change. Let's quickly just get these all of these trades done. So they should re-automate and get done nicely soon enough. Lovely. And is there anything else we want to do before we get started? Probably not. I think we're ready. So let's get cracking. Let's start on quite a slow speed for now and get this war done. So possible cabinet actions. Lovely. Straight away. Now, we don't have another great parliamentary guy, but we'll just put you in, I guess. And we will start by putting you on strength and government. Just get that cost of court staying as high as possible for now. Don't cause yourself any issues, and it will make us spend less money on it, which is always good. Let's keep our guys together. We've got a level 5 general, so we can take out some early battles. That should be pretty good early on. But obviously, the biggest thing is just getting our stuff unified. As we theoretically have a troop advantage. Obviously, they've got the quality advantage. So we just need to fight them in numbers, and we should be fine. We can always try and attrition them out as well, if possible. Whether we stay pagan or go Orthodox, though, I'm not sure. We'll find out. We could also go Catholic. We've got lots of options available to ourselves. But that's one to decide later down the line. Have fun and save the legitimacy estate interaction from clergy when your ruler dies. So you don't end up in a succession crisis. To be honest, we can probably just use it now. Let's request a clerical endorsement. That's a really good idea. I forgot about the overpowered estate interactions. And we probably just call an emergency parliament straight away. Let's get it done. So, what options do we have available to ourselves? So we could go wartime cavalry reserve to reduce the cost there, allow us to change some laws early, which could be quite good. Support the state would be quite good, but we don't really need it. Hive collection, we don't really need it. Labour supply, definitely don't. Hunting rights could be quite good. It would make our hunting rights cheaper, but we don't really need that at the moment. But it would be quite good to make our nobles like us again. The only really good one here is develop the interior, as it gives you that building cost reduction. But we've already built stuff, so we'd have to cancel it. So I think we'll just go for grant exclusive hunting rights. Because then we get the 89% parliamentary support. We can do a law change. The first thing we want to do is get off traditional distribution of power. It's awful. I think we all know that. Hi, Control. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, mate. Good to see you. We probably want to go straight for favour the elites to start with. We'll go for the classic noble economy. We will push as much money into them as possible and tax the shit out of them, really. Yeah, let's get it done. Makes it easier. We will take aristocratic support again, and we'll see if there's anything else we can change. So we could go. So we are currently a feudal administration. That's not the end of the world. We're sort of staying decentralized for now. We could go by blood, but culture influence does sort of the same thing. We're traditional law at the moment, which is okay. We are aristocratic court, which is also okay. Come on, give me something that's bad. So no censorship. It's innovative, humanist, and individualist. That's okay as well. We really don't have that much that's bad. Nobility controlled mining operations. That's fine. Uneducated masses. We definitely want to change that, even if it does push us to serfdom. So why don't we go? Religious teachings could be decent, just to get our literacy up as much as possible. Let's get that done. And then we don't really have any other good ones that we can go for at the moment, but we can see that as we get through. Could we change our coinage law? Yeah, we don't really want to. Our trade should sort us in that respect. And our guy has died already. So we've got a new king. So he is 47, 74, and 58. He's okay. His heir is intelligent, but hasn't really got that good stats, unfortunately. But hopefully it sorts out in the end. And we'll get the new guy as our king as soon as possible. What traits does he have? He's got entrepreneur, that's pretty good for our trade, and industrious, very good for our RGOs. And as we get our lumber price down, we should be able to make some good RGOs. But iron is a bit of an issue for us at the moment. And we can make a few bog iron smelters. We can go for that bog iron loop. That's the video that's coming out tomorrow, by the way, the bog iron economic spiral. So do check out for it if you see it around. It's a good one if I don't say so myself. So our lumber price, we need to get that down. So why is it so expensive at the moment? It's being used by essentially our entire economy. So if we built more lumber RGOs, it would be probably quite a good, effective use of our money, because it would just get that price down. And lumber is always going to be used for demand regardless. It would give us 14. Are there any other good RGOs that will give us better? I mean, this hunting RGO would apparently give us quite a lot of money and it'd be cheap. I don't see why that would give us so much money, but I'm not going to kick a gift horse in the mouth. I guess we'll go with that. We'll see what that can accomplish us. I'm not usually a big fan of wild game, but we do have the parliamentary session for it at the moment, so why not? Let's just check that. No, we don't. We don't. Oh, they've changed that. So you don't have the cost reduction until you get hunting rights for 10 years. Yeah, let's cancel that. I'm not going to do... unless I've got a discount, I ain't going for that. Let's go for just a lumber province, and we'll see what we can get after that. We'll save a little bit in the bank, and let's try and get some kills. Sort of procrastinating a little bit. We want to kill as many people as possible. I believe the war goal is show superiority. No, it's not. It's to take Vilnius. Okay, we've got to keep our capital alive, and that's fine. We've got a good castle there, so we shouldn't really be at much risk of that. We are losing diplomats though, but our research should fix that by the time we're done with that one. Army leader, yeah, we're already there, mate. Don't worry about it. I realised. Let's wipe this guy out. He should be dead pretty quickly. It's only levies as well. Lovely. Let's retake these cities and wait for them to come to us. They are attritioning. So are we. Let's run away. We can't afford to lose, especially if we've got no morale. Let's pull back quickly to our capital. Let's let them take the attrition rather than us. Supply at the moment is crazy, so we need to be very, very careful. I keep forgetting how overtuned in 1.3 it is. That's always a question I had. How do you decide what education system to pick? That's just usually it's going to be a bit of a generic answer, but what is best for your country? It's like if you're I'll give you an example. If you're a merchant republic, you could go for the apprenticeships, right? Because you're going to have a lot of burghers. But when playing the type of economy we are, the vast majority of our people, if I show you, are like they're tribesmen, they're peasants, they're labourers, and the sort of the more generic education systems can give us some buffs in that respect. Okay, so let's just get our morale back. Do we want to get some parliamentary stuff for a bit of gold? Probably not. We're going to use it anyway. It's not exactly the end of the world. We want to take serfdom movement? No, just to speed up how quickly we change it. I mean, it's only going to cost us prestige. Why not? Let's check our coring map, actually. Yeah, we are struggling with our cores. We don't have that many. So, let's see if we can embrace some cultures. What's our culture capacity? We're already over it. Lovely. Okay, so culture is a gigantic problem for us at the moment. So we need to keep our cultural influence maxed out as much as we can. We do want to see if we can get as much of this accepted as possible. We're just so over our cap already. We really can't afford to. Yeah, we just got to sort of convert it when we get the chance. Have you got any good diplo skill? No, you really don't. Okay. Right, let's get this morale back up to scratch. Take a second, but then we can go for some kills. Let's see if we can protect that 1.4k. Never mind. Let's intercept these armies in the north. If our vassals are going to be stupid and not tag along with us, then they will die, and it's their fault. Right, let's pull back quickly. Let's not get ourselves stack wiped. We'll take some more centralization. Why not? It's not the end of the world. Decentralized isn't great, but it sort of does us well at the moment. And now they're running through our territory. Let's see if we can catch the Teutonic. We're going with 9k versus 6k. They're quite low morale. We should win this, but the kill rate wasn't very good for us. At least it's because war score regardless. Let's see if we can unsiege our territory quickly. We'll keep our army together, just sort of risk nullification. The good thing is, obviously, it's quite hard to replenish your troops in the early game. So even if we are losing more troops than we probably should in that respect, we've got a much bigger army than them. Do we want to do anything with our parliament? Spiritual retreats we could get rid of. Yeah, why not? It's always good to do a cheeky little reduction. Let's push over this way, unsiege our lands. We want to keep our war exhaustion as low as possible. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's get cracking down on that war exhaustion. That is some hefty debuffs that we definitely need to get rid of as soon as possible. Do say hi in the chat if you're here, by the way. It's good to see all of you. I am reading it. I've got a fancy old second monitor now, so we're not going to have any crashes. Rivals, we probably want to look at Smolensk, but I don't want to do it before we stop. Missionary activities, I guess we'll just take the legitimacy and we'll start paying for our cost of court. God, that's expensive. Yeah, our wealth tax base ratio is not fun at the moment. So we can sort of, we'll have to see if we can deal with that down the line. We just want to hover our cost of court near 50%, so we can avoid the disaster. Right, we've taken that siege. Oh no, our vassal just got caught again. Let's see if we can go and catch the Teutons. They are attritioning in our lands, which is brilliant. They are taking it because of winter and our death deity god. So they're getting 2% attrition per month. That's fine. Quite fine and dandy, actually. They are attritioning still in their... Oh, shit. Let's not go for that. Let's get our morale back before we start our battle. Let's start pushing up for these sieges, and we'll keep our supply lines going, which is fine. Your videos have made me get over the hump and actually play and enjoy EU5. Hey, I appreciate it. I was in a bit of a burnout myself, not so unrecently. That's bad English. That's really bad English. Can't believe I'm basically Shakespeare. No, yeah, I was in a bit of a slump recently myself. So, but I don't know. 1.3 has really revitalized it for me. I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys haven't tried out 1.3 yet, I'd really recommend it. In terms of our economy, is there anything we want to do pretty early on? Well, we're still building the essential stuff. Sort of keep it normal, really, unless we want to go for anything fancy. Now we're fine. Let's keep sieging Riga. We might take some attrition in this respect, but we've got our supply line sorting us out, which is fine. They are eyeing us up, though, but we've got 6k versus 4k if they do go for us. If they're going to go into our territory, we'll probably want to go and catch them rather than keep the siege going, but let's see if we can get a breach. No, just status quo. Okay, let's go and deal with them. Come on, dudes, join me. Oh, if they stay on the siege, it's not the end of the world, actually. Come on, if they just take attrition by running through our land, it's not the end of the world. Okay, they would beat the shit out of us. Why would they do that? Can we get a better general quickly? Our new Grand Duke, let's put him on. See if we can get him a good army trait. Why would we lose this? We have a stronger army. Our army has more morale. Our train is to benefit. They just have quite a few regulars. I don't know. If we're going to get there first, which I believe we would, they would get there on 8 o'clock. We would get there a day earlier. They would be going into woods. So we get a +1 penalty. I don't know. I think I like that. It's a bit of a risk, considering we don't have our full army here. But we can always retreat if we need to. I think I'm going to take this because they're quite low morale. We've got the terrain bonus. Come on. I believe. Come on, guys. There we go. See? And we got army attrition. That's perfect. Now let's push back to Riga. Our vassals stayed there sieging it for us, which is lovely. Are there any other estate interactions we can get? Yes, there are. Let's take the peasantry buff. We could take some diplomats, actually. Why not? Let's do that. Who can we make like us? So we will keep our spy knock on Teutons going. Keep encouraging relations with Poland. And let's see if we can get some friends. So Sweden. I know there aren't very many pagan people. Let's try Muscovy. No, they fully hate us. Novgorod. Halleck. And let's get some friends, really. And Hungary. There you go. That should keep us going. Keep our diplo spending on 0. Lovely. And let's go for Riga. We should get some good money from sieging them down. Bit of a money war, but it'll be fine regardless. We are to 37% war score, which is lovely. Now, can we piece out these guys separate? No, they're still loyal. But we could try and change that, actually. If we did sort of a sabotage reputation, we could maybe get a bit lower, but we'll see where we go. Let's split our army up quickly. And just do some separate sieges. Let's get everything sieged that we can while the Riga siege is going. I know we're going to have food issues, so it's going to be a little bit painful. But I'd rather get the war score in the bank quite early on. Our stability is almost positive again, which helps us against those negative events. Winter hurts. Oh, yes, it does. But it's more just a food problem in this patch, to be honest, than winter. Kiev's going to attack us soon. Well, we can have a look at their thing. They're alarmed, so they're not actively planning a war, apparently. What about Smolensk? They're also alarmed. Look, we're going to want to kill these guys, so it's not the end of the world. We start quite strong. The better control we can get over our own locations, we'll get more levies. And if we like embrace and actually core our own stuff, it'll be even better. We're just pushing serfdom at the moment. After that, we'll start assimilating. The culture that we sort of want to end up on is... I mean, I wish we could form a new culture. That used to be a thing. I wonder if we can see if we can trigger that. Is it here, form a new culture? No, it isn't. I can't remember the requirements for it. Why have we just abandoned the siege? Can we not do that, please, guys? And if you want to spread out, you do you. It's not the end of the world. The Teutons are coming for us. Let's really sort of coalesce our armies. They seemingly are getting more regular troops out of nowhere, which is a little bit annoying. I know Holy Orders are overpowered, so we're not really that surprised. But we need our guys to combine with us, otherwise we are in trouble. Okay, they're quite low morale. Right, a new unit. Can we put someone tiny just to keep the siege going? Yeah, let's... Come on, vassals. Get back in the fold. Okay, we're just going to try and catch them while they've got very low morale. This is a stupid battle. We're not going to win. But it's the only chance we've really got. Yeah, we're getting cooked. Ugh, I hate how our vassals just abandoned us. Right, we'll run away. See if we can rejoin with our vassals. It's a problem. This is the problem with being reliant on AI. Whether it's vassals or allies, they can just decide to abandon you for no good cause and then fuck up your war effort. And it's quite bad. Let's see if we can get back together. It's the only real chance we have. If they can just pick us off side by side, we are mudded. I wish we could call them Poland. Call them first. They've got an armistice. When does their truce end? A long time. That's bad. Let's just sit here with our vassals. The only chance we've got is standing together. Oh no, we're about to get cooked here. Yeah, come on. I believe. Oh my god, we got some war score, but we lost a lot of men. We might have to just piece this one out, you know. We're very low on troops. Now, I know they would lose a lot of men, but the problem is they've got professionals. So they can just kill our levies and beat the shit out of us. And we can't just replenish the troops that they are able to. So we might just have to sit behind our forts for a bit. And wait for ticking war score because they haven't taken our capital. But we'll run away if we see them coming towards us again. We can't afford to let our AI just randomly split up like it did before. That's what's killed us. And as you can see, they've already got more troops back. It's a problem. Now, they're going to kill their manpower by just running into our attrition, right? But it's, yeah, they're losing us the war. Now, they are running straight for us. So we're going to have to run away, unfortunately. I might even put our levies away, just in the hope that we can actually raise more. It doesn't seem like we can. Could we peace out? -27. Yeah, because they know they have a stronger army than us. Which is a problem! And our economy is struggling as well. That's because of cost of court. Let's stop spending on cost of court for a second. We're going to put our taxes up to the max. We're going to get some money out of our burgers. No, we're not. They've got 10 ducats entirely. That's crap. God, we are in trouble here. And they're just going to get some war score off these freaking vassals. Oh no, we're in trouble. Oh, we had 6k as well. Yeah, we won so many battles. It's just regulars versus levies at the start of the game. It's just mental. The attrition only counts if they don't occupy the territory. Yeah, that's the problem. And it's not even doing that much because they've just got professionals. They can just get it back. Okay. Let's stop improving relations with people. We want to keep this dynamic going. That's the only chance we've got. We need to save up some mercs, it looks like. Or try and get a Sarge entry, but there's no way we'll be able to get 500 troops in the bank that quick. Ticking war score might just be our only option, to be honest. While we just keep developing our economy, really. Speaking of, has our market sort of sorted itself out yet? No, it hasn't. Great. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. We're still pushing serfdom quite quickly, which is nice. Someone needs to make a mod that gives you at least some say in what allied armies do, aside from the vanilla stances. Absolutely. I sort of think you should just be able to, like, get them, steal them yourself. Like, there's the new lend unit mechanic, which is cool. You can sort of just give your troops to an AI or an ally and let them move around for it, but you can't request it from your vassals. Maybe that's a solution for it. So we played this war well, and now we're just in the gutter because the army split themselves up. I'm annoyed about it. But we can chill out for a bit. We can watch them run around and waste war score. Yeah, -35 war score from battles. Like, it's outrageous. We killed more men than we've lost. Or at least we've won more battles. Their quality is just insane. But our levies are down. It's going to take years for them to replenish. Yeah, 12.39%. We're miles out. The only sort of hope is that they can go on our forts, but even then, a sally's not going to do that much. Unless they split up stupidly, like our vassals did. Lithuania leans more on RGOs than buildings, absolutely, and that's why we're rushing serfdom. But I do want to get the basics done in our economy first. Like, we're going for like 1 tailor's guild, 1 spinner's guild, etc. Just so we can have all of our bases covered. And don't forget, because we're pagan, we've got slaves, so we can go for slave markets and such as well. To be fair, that could be a good way to get an early economy going and trying to just sell slaves off. We have to occupy stuff if we want to steal people, and obviously we're losing the war at the moment, which is a slight problem. We've got 58 ducats now, though, so we've got some money coming in. We could think about over-minting if we really want to. Mercenaries are expensive. Yeah, please select some units to hire. Even if we only got for 1 footman. To be fair, 130. It's going to be worth it, but they obviously won't replenish, which is the problem. In terms of our credit, so this is the new credit system in 1.3. Watch out for Kiev. Yeah, if they come for us, there's nothing we can do at this point. We might have to do a cheeky restart. But yeah, we got very unlucky with our armies split themselves up. So the 2 Tons are doing some damage to us. And these guys they're splitting up, but they're going on our fort, which is fine. We'd be fine and dandy if we can get some mercenaries. And they should start running out of food pretty quickly. And they're taking a lot of attrition, which is always nice. We're just going to wait them out, because our ticking war score is going up anyway. We'll wait them out, we'll get some mercenaries, we'll beat their armies, and then we will be fine. That's the strategy. Now, our levies are starting to recover, which is nice. But we don't want our vassals to murder themselves. So we're going to quickly put them on... We'll just put them on passive. Just so they don't kill themselves again. And we'll try and get them on supportive by the time our nobles... sorry, not our nobles. I guess it is. Our levies have recovered. Another option, to be fair, could be releasing vassals. We could actually do that a bit more, like releasing a historical subject over here. I know we can't do it because we're at war, but considering we don't have cores in this land, it's not the worst idea I've ever had. It would give us some better levies and stuff, but obviously we're then very reliant on getting them to actually join our armies like they're not doing at the moment. And look, they're now on passive, and they're still walking towards the Teutons. Like, make your mind up, guys. Come on. Now, they're taking 7% attrition a month, which is lovely for us. Maybe we should have just sat back and let them come for us in the first place. We might have been better, but we did win. We won quite a lot of battles, so it's not like we played the war badly. We're just waiting for money to come in. Let's get some minting up. Why not? Make it speed up the process. We will be fine. Attracting the right people. Prestige. Lovely. Always a fan of that. How is Vilnius doing? Still growing itself. Its wealth is going up, which is nice. The papermakers guilds are very profitable. We do have a lot of lumber, to be fair. A good paper industry could actually be a very good angle for us. Do we have any unique urban rights to be? Granary towns. I mean, if we were food max, granary towns are going to be very, very useful. Market charters. Nothing unique, unfortunately, but granary towns are spamming them out. It could be a very good idea. That's unlucky. Yeah, we can't really stop them at the moment. It's a food RGO anyway, so going for like granary towns is actually probably a very good idea. Let's just not waste the money on it at the moment. We'll figure it out during the Black Death issue and see what we can do in that respect there. Now, the money is coming in thick and fast, but we're going to need quite a bit if we want to get the troops that we really want. I think maybe some Crusader Knights and using them on our enemies could be a good idea. The Crusader Sergeants, they look quite good. I know Crusader Knights are overpowered, but you want numbers of troops in this situation, really. Yeah, they're taking a lot of attrition, so we can sort of wait them out at the moment. Levies up to 434, that's fine. How close are we to getting to the 20% figure with a lot of our stuff? Still quite far off. Actually, to be fair, if we made our peasantry love us, that would then increase their satisfaction, right? Which would give us the buff of levy recovery speed. It would. So I do want to tax them to the hilt, right? But we can give them a sort of privilege. Maybe commoners in the administration? Let's do it. Now we'll make them like us more. Increase our levy recovery speed, and we'll be able to get our levies back up and running again soon enough. Otherwise, let's tax our clergy to the hilt. We need as much money coming in as possible. We'll keep our fort maintenance high for obvious reasons. And we just want to get 1 unit of mercenaries, our levies back up, our armies and our allies attached to us, and we should be able to wipe out their armies. At which case, we should have max ticking war score, and we should just be able to piece them out. We do have some occupations, but it's not the end of the world. In terms of the land we might want to take from this war, it's probably going to be sort of this northern stuff here, just to consolidate. But maybe going for money and just sort of slaves and stuff is a better idea. Nope, we're not going to cede land to you. I'm not an idiot. To be fair, considering our situation, our actual income, I know we're minting a lot, isn't too bad. Let's pull back on our minting now. Let's get it decreasing. We've got a solid amount of money in the bank because we want to stop this siege. So, mercenaries, let's gather a brand new mercenary army. Now, you guys have got camp followers. I don't want you. I would like footmen. Now, I believe level 1 troops is the only ones we're ever going to be able to get. But if we could get one potentially from Sweden, then they theoretically will have the Swedish discipline buff, which could be insane for us. So let's get 500 troops from Sweden quick. Are you over here? If they've got that Swedish 20% infantry combat ability, we are in the money. I didn't realise your men died? Yeah. The quality of having regulars this early on and being a holy order is insane. And our vassals just abandoned us, meaning we lost the battles. It's not our best, even though we won most of our battles. So hopefully these guys have the Swedish military buff. If they do, we are in the money. Does it say they are from over there? Swedish. Doesn't look like it. It's not the end of the world. I was hoping... No, they have minus 5% strength damage, though. I guess we'll take that. Now, that guy has got assault ability. We don't really need that. Let's put our... We don't really need attrition either, to be fair, but it's fine. We could roll for some more generals, actually, see if we can get anyone decent. Or more decent, more really good. You've got army morale recovery speed. Yeah, they're all a bit crap. Let's stick with you guys. So what does your general traits give us? We get morale, initiative, discipline, combat speed. Yeah, that's fine. Military ability heavy could be better, but it's okay. Now let us stick on attachment allowed and move all of our subjects again to supportive. The only way we're going to win this is if every single one of them support us. Otherwise, we are cooked here. And then we can continue waiting for our next levies to rejoin the party. We should be fine in that respect. Now, we do need to alleviate this siege quickly. We can also sally out. We've got 400 troops in the garrison. We just need to get our vassals over here quite quickly. Otherwise, we are dead. Come on, guys. Don't be stupid. We need to keep this fort alive. Where are they going? Can you make your mind up? See, it's just our luck. We're going to lose this now. I guarantee it. I told you. I literally said it as well. Right. I should have sallied out, but it was a 28% chance. I had to roll it. Come on, vassals. I need you to save me here. Oh, we're in trouble. These bloody holy orders are so overpowered. Succession crisis. Yeah, we're a bit mudded here. Let's we'll survive it though. We got this. I hate our vassals. They are idiotic and If they would have just combined us there, we would have had 2,000 versus 800 troops, and we would have won easily. They really need to add in a way for you to control your vassals. And right, let's raise our levies. This is the only chance we have now. Come on, vassals, do something good. I believe in you. Come on. They won the battle, I believe. Right. Please, actually, join your army together with me. Please, I beg you. Teutonic Chads, yeah, they are being quite good at the moment. It's not very good for us. We just need to win some battles. Will you please attach to me? Guys, come on. Are you disloyal? Is this the problem? Let's check their loyalty. No, they're all loyal. What is the issue? Why do you feel that you've got a better commander than the guy in a hot seat? Like, come on, guys. Get a grip of yourself. Problem is, because to be fair, we can actually balance that. I'll take that back. That isn't a problem. We've got a good amount of troops there. We just need to use it properly. We're just going to try and piece out this war as fast as possible. This holy order is overpowered. And by the time of the next war, we should have Poland to help us out. Balanced armies, there we go. Right, let's get these guys. We shall have our revenge. There we go, stack wipe, huge. We are going to execute the prisoners. You ain't having any regular troops back. Wipe out those guys, lovely. Now let's unsiege these territories quickly. They're, what are they, is that their, yes it is. That is their entire army. If we can get that done, actually, they're starting to attrition. They're going to take some damage out of our vassals there, albeit completely wipe the shit out of them. Maybe we won't be them. Okay, let's let them siege stuff down for a bit. But see, why would you not just attach to me? You're wasting my war score. Come on, guys, get a grip of yourself. Right, let's siege this down quickly. Reject peace again. We ain't piecing you out. You made us lose like 150 ducats on mercenaries. There ain't no way. And let's go and unsiege these occupations. Come on, please take some attrition. Be nice. If they go into a fort, we can wipe them out pretty quickly in there. It looks like they're coming for us. Let's try and run away. Run up here. We've got some food lines up here, so it shouldn't cause as many issues. Oh, they've caught us. Okay, let's just hold our position, get some morale back, and come on, bleed, pray. Come on, to the blood god. Blood for the blood god. There we go. Humongous. Let's unsiege. And it's starting to go well. We're going to want to take back that fort as soon as possible as well. We're losing a lot of troops for this, but it's worth surviving, obviously. Let's get everything unsieged and we will be fine. Our war score should come back pretty quick. And we will get there. Peace offer? Nope, absolutely not. Your time will come. You've been a pain in my arse, so you're not going to get out of this one easy. Yeah, our war score is heavily weighted by the battles at the moment. But that's fine. We can get a lot of it back through occupation. Our vassals are starting to do stuff, even though they're unsupportive. But it's okay. Let's just keep doing some mass sieges. They don't really have anyone who can stop us at the moment. They're just running around with 700 professionals. The enemy army is too small for attachment. Is that a thing? What's the limit for attachment? I didn't know that was a thing. If so, I've learned something today. Yeah, always good to learn something. Right, let's keep sieging stuff down. We want as much war score as possible. Elaborate court life. Absolutely not, mate. I do like our nobility, but I don't love giving them every single bit of power in our country. What we do also need to do is get down quantity as fast as possible. It's not exactly going to be easy. Peasant levies, I think we've already got that. Oh no, we don't. We've got inclusive levies. We'll try and go peasant levies when we can. Mass army policy, last standing army. Yeah, we're too far off away from that. Bit of a problem, but we'll try and get there if we can. War exhaustion is slowly coming down as serfdom is going up, which is good. We just need to invest in our RGOs a bit more. See, our vassals are now doing stupid shit again. Like, what is wrong with you guys? The Age of Renaissance. Admin focus is usually one you want to go for because of the mercenary buffs. But in this situation, is there anything else we really want? I mean, maybe military focus could be decent for us. Cavalry buffs. Cavalry buffs, and cavalry buffs. Diplomacy for the war score subjects. To be fair, I don't hate it. Marches. Yeah, let's go. Let's try diplomatic. I haven't done that in a while. It could be decent. We just need to get this war done, really. Get this siege done as much as possible. We're getting some more good war score out of occupation, and it'll get better as these town centres will start doing it for us. I would like to take Riga if possible, but it's not the end of the world. We've got a lot of wars ahead of ourselves. We just need to survive this one. We're up to 10% war score. What could we take? 35 ducats. Absolutely not. I've wasted loads on this. I'm not going out for cheap. Losing food, that's fine. We're just occupying stuff. Supply really is mental in this version, isn't it? Keep pushing through. They are chasing us, which is fine. If you want to fight me on a bloody forest, I will be very happy to. Because we should beat the shit out of them. Hopefully. Come on. No, we got cooked. I hate the quality of holy orders. Run away again. Can we get some more levies? Yeah, we can. Let's get them up. This really is going down to the wire. We're not going to be ready for any more wars for a long time. Put our cost of court back. Not waste as much money on it as we are currently. And we could honestly start thinking about whether we piece people out. Let's get this castle unsieged first, though. It's only on a little bit of garrison. 15 troops. So if we just order an assault, they should die. We seem to be killing more of our own troops. Right, our parliament's here, which is lovely. Charter artisan guilds is really, really strong. Peasant estate satisfaction, pop promotion speed, peasant recovery, that could be good. Field hospitals, that's about to end. Gathering industries could be very, very good. I know it's clay, but you get a lot of options through gathering. And it sort of does the basics in our economy. Is there any salt? There is, but it's quite far away from us. If we had farming industries, it'd probably be a much better one. But does gathering include fur? Is that farming? Yeah, it's farming, unfortunately. If we increase ties to neighbours, we get some diplomats, which is okay. We'd also be able to change our laws quite easily. Religious missions. Yeah, we probably just want to go for the ties to neighbours. It's crap, but it means we can change our laws. So we can go for stuff like peasant levies, which will help us push quantity. We can also address the spiritual retreats again. Same with a land focus, and then get another law change. Is there anything else we want? I know we were sort of discovering this last time that there really wasn't, but we'll see if we can find something. Our maritime law is going to serfdom. That's fine. Favoured elites. Aristocratic or nope. I guess censorship could be the option. You get stab decay, spiritualism, or you go just no censorship for cultural. Well, yeah, we need the cultural influence to keep our stuff being called fast. Fine. We'll come back to that later. We'll see where we go. There doesn't seem to be any obvious options. Something might pop out. I might stop being blind. Unless you guys have got any suggestions, do let me know. We'd love to hear. Because we've got the right angle of pleading. We've got the right borders and stuff. Like, going closed borders could help, potentially, with the Black Death coming, but Apparently the Black Death isn't even an issue in this patch anyway. Enemy army size is the limit. The more they have, the more possibility to join. Fair enough. Let's get this siege attacked. 8 people. Lovely. Unsieged. Let's go and unsiege that little town there. And then we should be good to try and piece them out. They seek a white peace. Well, we won't be doing that. Don't get any ideas. That would be outrageous. Yeah, they won't give us any land, unfortunately. They will give us some money. But we've sort of lost a lot of men in this war. We do want something. And we would actually get some proximity over those provinces there. Maybe we just need to take this little castle. We don't have the manpower really, that's the problem. We can try it. Give it a go, why not? They might come and stop us. So let's stop that occupation in the north first. For the future wars, absolutely, mate. I'm sure there'll be a lot of them. Kiev is probably going to come for us, as we've had a few people say. Our cabinet members are looking alright. We're slowly getting towards serfdom. If we consolidate our regiments, it might help. Let's give it a go. Why not? They're going deep into our territory at the moment. That's fine. If we split our army up, we might be able to unsiege stuff over there. No, we can't. No. Need to play this smart. They can't really take anything properly inside us because of our forts. We've got very good ticking war score. We just sort of want to get something because of the problems we've taken out of this war. Now, we could take over the market for ourselves. That could be decent. I mean, that's actually substantial. So it would give us a decent bit of ROI. We could go for war reparations. Get some long-term income. But they don't seem to want to give us any land. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. We're heavily over our coring costs anyway at the moment. But I just want to get some sort of response for the investment that we're going for. Parliamentary traditions, that's fine. 61%. We could give a noble tax exemption, but there's absolutely no way in hell we are doing that. We could go for a CB. We could take over a different sort of state if we wanted to. Maybe going for some sort of amber RGO could be decent, but like I said, our control is more of the issue. We don't really have anyone good we can annex either. Yeah, we're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I really don't want to actually get increased ties for neighbours. So maybe just going for something simple, like food administration is food production, which is fine. The central council will give us aristocracy. So maybe let's go for that. Why not? Let's get it done. We seem to be attritioning there. Let's get out of that one. See if we can unsiege the stuff that the Teutons are annoying with. Now, they've only got 2 troops, so their flanks would be open. But we're just, with their professionals, we're just not going to win. So let's see what value can we get. It's not worth extending this war artificially. Let's just get some money and be done with it. Okay, that's fine. We survived, and that's the important bit. Our parliament was done. That's fine. Get it over and done with. We've now got 85 ducats. So, do we want to sort of fix our wealth and tax base ratio a little bit and release some vassals? So we're getting some good control here. The problem is we're not getting any control in sort of this eastern region. So we could think about releasing some more vassals. And historical ones start of cause. So if we release these guys, they'd be pretty decent. Why not? Let's risk it. Why not? Let's do it. I was meant to do it. Let's try that again. Custom subject. Nope. We want a historical subject. Release you, and we're going to release you as a fiefdom. Now, what religion are you guys? You guys are... You're our religion. You're Ruthenian culture. To be fair, we could change to Ruthenian culture and try and form Ruthenia if we wanted to. They've got some very decent ideas. Parliament's failed, that's fine. We've got a rebellious estate. It's not the end of the world. Is that our clergy? It is. And we're going to make them hate us even more because I want their legitimacy, please. But we can always give them a cheeky little estate privilege. Like religious administration, religious land rights. Let's go for administration. Why not? They'll love us very much. Perfect. Now, how is our lumber price doing? So we are now in control of the Vilnius market, which is lovely. It's our own thing. It does have a lot of their provinces in it, but we've got control over it, which is the important thing. Now, we want to get these lumber RGOs sorted. Our masonry cost is really low, which is fine, and we've got a reduction in cost due to our religion, which is brilliant. Let's just keep going on our lumber sort of economy at the moment, because they give us a lot of money. And the good thing about lumber, and it's why you can make so many economic spirals out of it, is that it just sort of is going to be used whatever the weather. There's enough stuff to use it, whether it's paper, whether it's bog iron smelters, like everything revolves around it. So you can sort of just make it infinitely. You're not in any trouble with overproducing it, which can be a problem in the early game. A really big one, in fact. And that's sort of what we need to fight against. Now, our economy does seem to be doing quite well, which is surprising. We're going to cut our cost of court even more, get as much money flooding in as possible. But I guess our tax base to wealth ratio has gone better since we released mints. And they will be giving us money diplomatically as well, which is fine. And we're getting a ducat from the Teutons, which is brilliant. Keep our taxes at crazy highs, but we'll start turning off the clergy taxes. We want them to like us a bit more. Otherwise, it's going to cause us some problems, and we don't really want that one. What else can we do? New policies, not really that important. Diplomatic actions. What do we want to do? We can sabotage reputation of the Teutons, and we'll do it with their subject. That's fine. That'll help us in the second war. Feed mints those provinces really far away. Good idea. Let's get that done. Yeah, we've got these bits that we'll never ever in a million years be able to control. Let's get that done. So seed provinces. Let's get it done. And that's good because it will make our cost of court even cheaper, which is nice. Thank you again, Control. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the donation. Everything helps. Now, I'm not going to try and pronounce that word, but there is an event between the East and the West. We can do some fancy negotiations with the Papal States. We can have a conversation, or we can piss off the Catholics and they might declare war on us. But, I mean, we have a truce with the Catholics, right? So if we go to religion of countries, who else is Catholic? It is Poland, who is our ally. Well, fine. We're just going to reject them. Oh, did Poland just abandon us? It looks like it. Well, that's sad. Well, they've got a truce with us. That's fine. We can always invade them and take them over militarily if we need to. By the way, if you're new to the stream and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It really helps the channel. Liking the stream really helps too. Pushes it to new people. Professional armies. Sadly, it's not us. That would be really nice. We are close to getting to serfdom, which is lovely. We can start thinking about if there's any other sort of privileges we want to give out, but we don't have to worry about that for now. Privacy of the nobility could be a good one, but we want to tax them loads. We don't want their power to get crazy. Once our war exhaustion and serfdom gets done, we'll start assimilating our pop. We want to get as much of this to be our culture and our course as possible. I believe if we check, it's all integrated. Yeah, it is. It's all integrated. It's just not the culture we need. And we've also got this big old bit down here. What is our diplomatic capacity? Our diplomatic capacity is 5. We could think about releasing this as a big subject as well. Where is the capital of Pinsk? It's over there. Okay, so sort of the problem with vassals at the moment is they're so hard to annex. So if we wanted to start annexing these guys, which we probably should do, we could. It would take a while, and you can sort of annex people at the same time. Is the only sort of trickery around it. The other big suggestion is to do big vassals. So, for example, getting these guys to be quite large. The problem is their capital's over here, so it's not going to get control or proximity down here if we wanted to. But sort of a vassal with a capital on this road could be very decent. So if we created another custom subject here, let's just put it at fiefdom. Now, the problem is with the custom subjects is that they're going to have to integrate their provinces. It's not the end of the world, and we will just cede them the land, and hopefully they'll get a little bit strong. Now, we have pretty much got control over all of this stuff. We're going to try and get control over these bits as we sort of make it our culture. But the vast majority of our stuff is made by us now, which is fine. Now, are there any other fancy RGOs we want to make? Let's get some wall RGOs going. If we're going serfdom, we're going to get some insane buffs to RGOs. So we're going to pretty much just solely focus on these guys for now. I mean, I know they're expensive, but the good thing about our religion is we get some really good cost reductions. If we take any slaves, we can use them as manpower as well. And just look at the buffs you can get from serfdom. They're absolutely incredible. 20% raw material output, 50% levy recovery, 50% building upkeep efficiency, Reduce enfranchisement, levy size, it's insane. And we're going to need to stack that as high as physically possible. Now, in terms of our heir, he's 18, so we probably need to get him a marriage. There's apparently just no possible matches at the moment, which is a problem. We've got a big family, though, so maybe we can do some sort of keeping it in the family type shenanigans. We'll have to see. In fact, we can probably just start systematically improving relations with all of our vassals at this point, to be honest. And just keep going with the fancy old RGOs. 30 grains in Vilnius are apparently going to be quite profitable. I mean, we've got really good control here. I'm never going to say no to that. And yeah, taking over that market centre for us was a humongous win out of that war. Just because now we get huge market access over our entire country. We get to trade with the goods that they're producing on our behalf, and we should be able to make bank out of it. The important thing to check, though, is are we the most trading country at the moment? That's really bad English, but we'll go with it. Yes, we are, because we've got 25 trade advantage. So we can steal all the fancy goods that Regan and the Teutons are making for us, and then just export it on our own way, right? So we'll get some good value out of it. And the problem is our crown power is so low, we're not getting that much value out of it. But if we make a sergeantry, we can get that up a little bit. And that will cost us 32, so we'll definitely get on that. Get it done. Lovely. Diplomatic capacity gone up, even better. How is our masonry price doing? It's coming down, that's good. Yeah, I do like the new dynamic price system. What do you guys think about the new dynamic price system? Are you guys fans? So we are slowly losing traditionalists. I think I've just sort of gone to innovative on automatic mode. But traditionalism, because of the new estate interactions you get, isn't the worst anymore. Like, local army organisation could be decent for peasant levies. What I'm really looking for, where are we? I mean, garrison system could be good too. Where are we? Agrarian community is traditionalist and humanist, and that gives quite a lot of buffs for us, and we could use this, considering our religious choices at the moment. Enlightened leadership, we're not going to get near that, but that looks quite good. Rural oligarchy needs plutocracy. Obviously, planned storage system is the big one. If we can get Age of Reformation, we'll get our unique serfdom one as well, which would be brilliant. So we're quite far away out of that one, obviously, but we'll get there eventually. Possible diplomatic actions, let's just keep improving relations with our vassals. Ones that we ideally want to start integrating at some point. And building our road up here is probably a good idea. But if we want to build a strong economy, we need to start with our RGOs. And that's why we're just rushing so far into serfdom as fast as possible. But we should get some good value out of it, especially as we've got such a big market. And obviously our RGOs aren't even that good, right? We've just got a lot of buffs for them. It sort of shows that you can actually build an economy out of nothing. And that's what we're focusing on. Right, so urban rights is the other idea. Now, if we want to maximize our pop promotion speed, our pop growth speed, we need as much food to be produced as possible. But more importantly, we need food capacity. Because food capacity is where you get the available, where are we? Yeah, large food storage and province modifier. Available free land is your population capacity. So if you buff both of these up, like traditional economy, for example, you can really get some strong buffs. So if we put granary towns in our main big cities, that should help in that respect. Let's do it. We've got cheaper legitimacy at the moment because we've got ourselves so small. Let's get that done. Granary towns. And the more population we can get earlier, the better. Help us out very much. In the same sort of respect, I'm going to start opening our granaries. I close them at the start to save money, but we can put them on now. In terms of our employment law, is there anything we want to change to? We've got traditional economy at the moment, which we do want. But maybe we could go for something like communalism, like the policy. What does that give? It does give communalism. But we just want to stay as far into traditionalism as possible, really, to be honest. So in terms of the Age of Renaissance, it's obviously unlocked a lot of these government reforms. Now we just have a look through most of them. I believe we checked them all out, but there are still a few. Yeah, stuff we haven't really got access to at the moment, but it's not the world. We've got some good ones in there anyway. 79 gold is now available to us. Lovely. Let's get some new RGOs. Beeswax, apparently very profitable. Why not? Get it done. Try it out. Focusing on a high value stuff is going to be quite important, but you do want to get every good covered that you can do as well. It's no one size fits all, really. Lots of choices to be made. And yeah, we sort of just need to let our levies recover. They are doing so quite fast. And then we can go after the Livonians and the Teutons again and wipe them out. Yeah, someone's got a very easy task on them because of the work we did, like Estonia. But if we get a Mega Estonia, we should just be able to wipe them out, which is fine. Might make our life even easier, to be honest. Let's choose to stay on the optimistic side. Well, that Spinner's Guild is apparently very profitable. We could think about that one. Yeah, let's try it out. We'll make it in Kansas as well, or Kansas, however you pronounce it. Get it as because it's really profitable. So this cabinet action is done, which is lovely. So we're going to start assimilating pops as well. Now, I know this guy isn't very good. Hey, Dice, you're actually from Lithuania. Lovely. What part of Lithuania are you from? Assimilate pops, why not? Let's just get it done. And we'll get the other guy down on it once we are done with serfdom. But we're getting through that pretty quickly at the moment. Now, we do need to try and get our nobles to be taxed as much as possible. Oh, from Kansas. Cool. Did you think a spinning industry could be quite viable there? Well, what's the historical industry in that province? Let's improve with Minsk, keep all the vassals inside, and we'll get down there. We will be fine. More sturdy grains in our capital? Absolutely, mate. Thank you very much. The castle is still there. Now that is cool. Now I should delete it. Let's be fair. I'll delete the stockade. You don't really need that. Considering we are in a bit of threat with the people around us, we don't want to get rid of the castles too early, really. Let's pull back our cost of court again. Let's just check our location ranks. Have we got... No, we've got another granary town we can make. Let's get you done. That will really help with our food capacity. Lovely. More population growth is always good. And considering we get a lot of unique buffs of population growth as well, it's good for us. Hey mate, planning on staying pagan? Absolutely at the moment. We're getting the good little fertility god and stuff. It's getting a 0.02 population growth, which seems tiny, but it definitely adds up. We've got some deep population. I think that's just migration. That's fine. But yeah, we're staying there for now. We can always go orthodox and stuff down the line, but for the moment, we can build, and we're focusing really hard on our RGOs, right? The good thing about paganism is that it means that if I just show you off, where are we? It means that we can actually use these slaves in our RGOs, which is quite obviously perfect because we're just spamming the shit out of RGOs, right? So if we steal slaves from these like nations that we're going to fight, move them to our RGOs, we've got an infinite workforce. And then you can always think about changing religions down the line and making all of those slaves that you've stolen into population and doing a bit of a run in that respect. And that's definitely a very viable strategy. So let's get the... How do I pronounce it? If you actually live there, is it Kansas? How is it pronounced? Hey, would you happen to have a fun playthrough idea? Something like forming a chain of countries or increasing tiers? I mean, it depends what you're looking to do, right? What sort of game are you looking for? Are you looking for like a military game? Because a sort of Sweden stacking nation game could be quite good. It's like Sweden into Prussia into Germany, you can get some insane military buffs. You're looking for like a trade game, like the Merchant Republics are really fun at the moment. Going like Netherlands into like Germany and stuff like that, or HRE, or England, GB, that type of stuff could be quite good. Hornus. Okay. Mate, your pronunciation is so bad. Hey, I was asking, right? I did ask. Let's not shoot the messenger here. I at least was asking for help. Let's not kick a gift horse in the mouth. Now, do we want an innovative court or traditionalism? Let's just stick with tradition. Oh no, we get them in the court. Yeah, let's get them. We do need some characters. I think I'll refrain from pronouncing that city. Let's not get me cancelled. No, my pronunciation is horrible. I'm British. I apologise. It's not my fault. I was born in a country that can't speak any other language, decides to leave the European Union for shits and giggles, and refuses to pronounce anything correctly. Now I'm just kidding. It's cow. It's either cow or cornus. I'll just pretend it's something stupid and start mispronouncing it as rage bait. Probably good for views. Something military would be a nice change. Yeah, Sweden. Not in the HRE, so you can sort of do the route you want. You can go Sweden. You can like try and form Prussia, or you can do sort of a what's the nation called? It's a semi plausible nation. It's like the old Nordic nation that took England. So that's a really big formable. Most Brits can't even speak English. Yeah, very true. Rename the town, problem solved. It's not a bad idea. That feels mean. No, the Black Death has arrived. Right, let's test it out. I don't think the Black Death works at the moment, so we'll have to see. Where did it spawn? Over in the east. We'll see if it actually spreads. But I've been told it doesn't, which is not great, but nothing we can really do in that respect. Let's get some more wool coming in, considering that's quite profitable for us. Actually, no. Let's go to Cornus, or however it's pronounced, and get some spinner skills, because they're apparently insanely profitable. Where are we? I just made you. I want to make a second one. Here we go. Yeah, they're apparently extremely profitable, so we'll have to see what we can get with that one. We're making quite a few wool RGOs at the moment, so getting some actual demand for those goods will be very useful for us. We're just going to push that down the line, really. Our serfdom is pushing really fast, which is great, so the RGOs we've already got are going to get more and more efficient. But with the Black Death coming, we need to be quite careful of not overbuilding, really. No Black Death in this patch helps you. It will, but look, the Black Death will come. It just comes in that second wave, and it absolutely murders you. So I was thinking before I started this stream of whether it was actually worth doing a save in 1.3.6 because of the Black Death issue. But frankly, because it hits you the second time, it's not the worst thing in the world. It just sort of takes you away from the integration with the save a little bit. But it will be fixed at some point. So yeah, the second wave will hit us quite badly. I'm already prepared for that. I've accepted it, and we'll get a Tailor's Guild as well. Why not? We'll make it a bit of a mega city. Now, how is our pop growth speed doing? We've got these granary towns. Has it gone up a little bit? Not really that much, to be honest. I had hoped for a bit more, but our population number is so low at the moment anyway. It's not like it's going to be growing that fast anyway. So taking some slaves is probably going to be our best port of call. We just need to try and get some friends, really. Like, everyone hates us. Literally everyone hates us. Who could be convinced to being our friend, though? Is anyone, like, sort of semi-okay with it? No. Poland is the only one, and they just recently abandoned us. Will you make a megalopolis? Well, considering we've got 12,000 people in our capital at the moment, we're a little bit far away from a megalopolis. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to turn down the option if we get there, but it's going to take us some time. We'll keep improving relations with our vassals, and we'll keep growing that as we go. Vilnius, is there any fancy buildings we can make here? Not just yet. Albeit maybe a saltpeter skill could be decent. But I can't imagine it actually has demands. No, it doesn't. It's just a trick of the light. Glass might, though. Let's just check. Supply is 0.7. Demand is 1.07. We're importing a bit. So a glass guild is probably quite viable. Let's get that done. And our economy's going quite well, to be honest. I can't really complain. Our tax base has doubled from game start. Our wealth is sort of about the same, but we've released a lot of people as vassals, which means our cost of court is a lot cheaper, and our minting is going to be better if we do it. What I love about this patch is the scouting system. I'd love you to explain that a little bit. Flip Norse, raid slaves, and Valaya Megalopolis. Well, we're pagan, and we can raid slaves. I mean, you can't do it naively, right? But we can run around and conquer people and take their slaves, I believe, if I'm right. I do hope so. But we're... No, you're right, actually. In that last war, we didn't occupy any slaves for occupying their provinces. So maybe we do need to change the religion. So how do we get slave if we're... Is this like a eco-only slave religion, perhaps? Pagan megalith sounds kind of sick, though. It would. It really would. But I do remember now, when we were occupying those states, we weren't taking any slaves. So I wonder why. Because we're a different religion. It does say we can have slaves. So maybe we just got to import them. Yeah. Interesting. We'll figure out at some point. Cabinet efficiency? Yeah, let's get it done. Yeah, but we've got the ability to use slaves. It just doesn't seem that we can get them. So maybe that means that we have to like buy them. So like, we have to import them rather than like steal them for ourselves. Let's put them all on supportive. The music going, and we've got a new parliament. And we've got sponsor the noble arts, which is pretty decent to be fair. Selling art is a really good economic strategy at the moment. Develop the interior. Yeah, we're going to go noble arts. And I think we're actually going to try and pass it. So we'll go aristocratic support. We will go for a CB. Now our levies are back. Who do we want to invade? Well, Kiev is ginormous. Let's not go for them. Smolensk? Do they have any good RGOs? Not really. All of the RGOs are a bit meh at the moment. What's our truce like with these guys? If we did get a CB, it would come up in time. Yeah, that's probably the play, to be honest. Estonia, actually, they were doing really well. They've actually lost their rebellion. That's really sad for them. Novgorod is the other option. I think we just get our CB and we save it, because they last 4 years. So let's just get our Coastal Court up quickly. They last 4 years. So we'll get CB here. We'll save it for our next war with the Catholics. And then we will just try and get this nobility art person to pass. Because getting an artist, making some art could be quite good to set it off, really. Minsk is going well, Batosk as well. If we can get these guys ready to be annexed, that would be lovely. Do we want to get some missionaries going? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Free stability, I never turn that down. And let's just check our RGOs again, and let's get some more wall going. Why not? We're getting really far into serfdom. The busts are sort of stacking together, so it's going to be very good for us. Which is always nice. But yeah, I mean, our economy is going quite well. We can't really complain. We just need to keep as much money coming as possible. Our nobility love us to death, which is brilliant. Have you played 1.3.6 yet? This is 1.3.6. So you asked why the Black Death is doing nothing. 1.3.6. Woo! Yeah, it's just crap, this patch. Well, not the game, the Black Death. Can you take a look at the culture map mode? Absolutely. So this is our culture location. So we are currently this random ass culture. We probably wanted to see if we can form our own culture at some point, but I can't really remember how to do that. That's something I need to figure out as we get through. And we are trying to assimilate these provinces to be our culture, so we can get cores over it. If I show you the integration map mode, it's not exactly our cores at the moment, so we're working quite hard to get that to be our cores. Because control and proximity in this patch is probably the most important thing. So speaking of, how cheap are our bridges? They're quite good. We do need some bridges. Let's get a few. Even if it's not going to be that efficient, it's just really, really important in this patch to get control and proximity high. No, I meant to do something else. I forgot to get the CB. Oh, it's fine. It's only 5 years to the next parliament. It's not the end of the world. I was waffling about bridges. End of the day, it's fine. Now, we could also think about like bog iron smelters and stuff, because we've got that in abundance. We've got the opportunity to buy 500 food, though. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's stop ourselves going into a famine is always quite nice. Isn't it very easy to accept that culture? It would be. But look at our culture capacity. We're quite high. So, we do need to... Actually, the costs have come down, you're right. So, we can accept this guy now for cheap. Which means we can stop assimilating him. And we can start assimilating other stuff. Perhaps the guys in the E. But let's just start on these guys, why not? I believe they're all cores anyway. No, they're not. So there's cores to be got. There's cores to be earned there. There we go. We've called all of that, which is lovely. A lot of new max control is going to come into that region. New game? Absolutely, mate. We are testing out 1.3.6, and I believe Lithuania is going to be very, very good for a pot max type economy. In terms of our researches, we've got these guys little unlocked. So let's go for the nobility satisfaction. Let's go for the diplomatic annexation efficiency. And warlord dukes. That's a unique tech. Why not? And we'll worry about the rest when we get down there. Let's get our coastal court to 100. Or sorry, our legitimacies. We've got the money for it. Keep our stability on 0. It's not that effective. And we'll get down there. We do need to think about sort of taking over some of this land, get it into our fold, but we can worry about it later. Our economy is so strong at the moment that we don't really have to worry about much. We can just continue building up. Apparently Lithuania is very good for levy efficiency maxing. Fair enough. I wouldn't be surprised. From my understanding though, levy efficiency is a bit of a bad stat. So I would love it if that changed, if I'm totally real, but I'm just not convinced it has yet. But we'll see. But we've got a lot to do. The Vilnius, any fancy buildings I can make here? So more spinners guilds are apparently very much wanted. We could definitely do that. We can do it in Cornus as well. Yeah, let's just get you maxed out. 3 out of 3. Why not? This is the big question now. It's opportunity cost at the end of the day. Like, what could we be building over something else? What are we missing out by not doing this? You can make your own culture theoretically. Yes, there is a cabinet action for it. I just don't seem to see the option for it at the moment. So we obviously just don't fulfill the prerequisite. So if someone wants to check it, search it up on the wiki at the moment and find the prerequisites, that's something I'd very much like to do. We'll have to get there. Oh, you're that culture in real life. Fair enough. I am English. Surprise, surprise. Diplomacy with Russia. So we can spend money to make them like us. Okay. We can reach out to Smolensk themselves, make them like us, or just they don't like us very much. So who do we get if we went for the Russian thing? Smolensk, Vladimir, and Kostroma. I mean, Smolensk is the only viable one. So let's just spend some money trying to make them like us for now. We do want to invade them eventually, but we just need some friends if Kiev decide to go for us, ultimately. Is it still bad to build roads before the Black Death hits, or is proximity more important? Absolutely, building roads before the Black Death is bad. The only silver lining is that the Black Death seemingly just doesn't work in this patch. It doesn't spread to Europe. So I'm not sure if it will, if it won't. I'm sort of expecting it not to. But obviously, with rural locations, if you just put a big old road going straight through the big forest, it's gonna come down it and it's gonna go straight through us. That's it. That's why sort of like Poland and Lithuania, they didn't really get hit by the Black Death in real life because they just had so many remote rural like places. It just never got there, which is kind of mad considering it is on the Great European Plate. Like their big weakness historically has been they're on this big flat land, right? That German tanks can just go marching in and wipe the shit out of them, right? But in terms of the Black Death, it actually posed a bit of an advantage for them for once. Yeah, got to keep assimilating, get everything done. Let's just check our integration map mode. Yeah, there's little few enclaves there need to be dealt with. What's the culture in those provinces? Yeah, miles away from what we want to be. We could try and to accept that culture. But we do sort of assimilating. It's probably easier, to be honest. We've got the cabinet people for it. And we've got more money coming through the doors. So what else do you want to keep building? Well, the Spinners Guilds and Tailors Guilds are apparently very, very profitable still. I mean, it being our own market helps, obviously. But I'm surprised Spinners are, but I guess we do have a good wool surplus. We're also making quite a lot of money out of trade, so maybe some more like marketplaces could be viable. At the end of the day, though, because we're getting so close to serfdom, probably just worth getting the RGOs up and done early, and then we can worry about the rest later on. Chancery, not a bad idea. We could go for the unique buildings while they're cheap. Libraries as well, probably a good idea. I mean, I might as well just do that straight away, to be honest. It's our capital. We can worry about the rest later on. I just think RGOs is going to be this the play at the moment, just because of how close we are to serfdom. Now, after we get serfdom, what other values do we want to push? So going quantity could be good. But there's not very much we can do to get further down it is the problem. Aristocracy, where we are, is fine. Those nobles are going to be good for us. Spiritualist is fine. Traditionalist versus innovative is a bit of a debate, but you can get some good policies through traditionalist. So we don't want to push innovative too hard because it could lock us out of it. And obviously centralised, decentralised. Before becoming king, Henry the IV, I think that's the 4th of England, got a failed 1390 raid on Vilnius with the Teutons. Even brought longbowmen. Jesus. Despite the massive force, the siege failed because Vilnius held out and the attackers couldn't break the siege's defense. Insane. That is some good. I would never have thought the Brits would be over in Lithuania. That's mad. But we do have a bit of a Crusader history, don't we? Going to random places, bullying people, and stealing their shit. It's what the British are known for. Like, have you ever seen the British Museum? Ever heard of the British Empire? Like, I know the British Empire does have some good stuff and bad stuff, but it's mostly bad because they just went around stealing their own shit. But yeah, we were not exactly the nice guys of Europe, like we like to make ourselves out, were we? Obviously, you got the French. You've been to the British Museum. Nice. I mean, there's as you will know, there's a hell of a lot of shit there. But it's not that much of it is actually ours. See you on the next one. Thank you for being here, Cargo. It's good to see you. Hey, Martin, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And the second donation. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you, man. It's good to see you back. If you guys didn't know, by the way, we're planning a multiplayer on 1.3 when it comes out fully. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, there is a link in the description. So feel free to join. There are lots of nations up for grabs. That's because we haven't seeded yet, but I can say it. It's like classic propaganda. But yeah, if you fancy a multiplayer, join the Discord in the description. We are looking for new people. It will be Saturdays at 6 till 10 British time, which is 1 till 5 East Coast time. Right, let's open the RGO builder. Let's get some new fancy RGOs out. How you doing, Martin? It's good to see you. Is go land quantity over naval better in general, or are coastal countries still better to go to naval? From what I understand, they're kind of equal now. I know the land quantity policy is amazing. Yeah, well, land versus naval just depends on what you're doing for that country, right? If you're Britain, there's absolutely no advantage in going land at all, right? You can sort of do what you want and get the same proximity anyway, because you're just going to get roads everywhere. You're going to get full maritime proximity if you go naval faster. You'll get proximity over every single port you can get, and then you can just build roads inland and sort it out that way. So from that respect, it's a lot easier. Hey, you're holding me to my word, Martin. I appreciate you. Thank you for your help. Yeah, so versus land, right? Land, if you're like Lithuania, is perfect, right? Because you can just build all of the inland roads. You can sort of do what you want and see where you get to, and that's the important thing. But ultimately, it's your preference, right? You've got to build the country that you want to be, and yeah, just use your brain and think about the big privileges, like you said, right? That really good, what's it called? Where is it? I can't find it. There's just too many things. There you go. Planned storage system, RGO size, population capacity, very, very strong, right? Especially if you are going a serfdom sort of population build. It's the perfect government reform for 1.3. Hey, thank you, Martin. I appreciate you. More bridges? Oh, we can absolutely get on that. We shall bridge over. I don't know what the river's called. Tell me what the fancy river's called near Vilnius. But we are bridging it. Let's get it done. There we go. Lovely. Now, I actually don't need a bridge in Vilnius itself, so let's not do that. Let's get you over here. Lovely. Since the Black Death is broken, should you revert to the previous patch? Up to you, ultimately. If you're ultimately 1.3, right, we're treating it like a new version, but functionally, it's a beta test, right? And at the end of the day, we are beta testing, and we can't treat it like a new patch until it's released. So if it's got these issues, you can either play on the beta and learn the new features early, like we're expecting. That's what we're all doing together. But if you want a better experience, go back, stay on 1.4, right? You're gonna have a much better game because 1.4 is probably the best patch that they've come out with so far. It's really good, and I really can't complain. You just need to sort of decide what you want to do, really, ultimately. 1.3.4 is a really good patch. I can't understate that. It solves the mercenary issues. You've got some really cool estate stuff. It's really balanced. The only big problem, I think, is that France is too weak. You see England winning the 100 Years' War, even by AI, quite often. Like, Brittany is literally independent, right? Look at that. It's mental. But you've got to... Yeah, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? You've got to decide what you need, what you want from it, what you want to achieve. More money is coming through the doors. So what can we get from it? Now, obviously the bridges, it might cause us some issues if we are having a Black Death, but we're sort of not expecting it to actually hit us. I did speak with Johan, by the way, and he has said that the Black Death issue is going to be fixed in the next patch. When that is, I'm not sure. I imagine it'll be quite soon, but we don't know, right? We don't know where full release is going to be either. We'll figure it out. But that's when our MP will be. So if you are interested in MP, join the Discord. It'll be good to see you all. Now, our economy is doing very, very well. Our tax base is going up. We're starting to get control in this new cord land up here. We're sort of trying to get the eastern bits cord as well and assimilate it into our culture, which will help us in the long term. And we sort of need to make an empire to be proud of. So we could try and form our own culture if we can figure out the prerequisites for that. Oh, the order of succession. So what is our succession law at the moment? Favoured son. That's quite good. We're going to keep that. I like favoured son. So who is our favoured son? Apparently this guy. No. Doesn't seem like we've actually... They don't live in our country. Well, where are you? Oh, because all the vassals, they're just like in our vassal stuff. Well, that's annoying. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. If we get our great power score up, we'll be better for it. I do hate that though, when you like can't control your own royal family because they're not in your province. Very annoying. But what can we do about it? So decentralized, pushing innovative, it's fine. Maybe we should have thought about staying traditionalist, but we can always change that in the line. And our Grand Duke is dead. So we've got a new guy. He's 20 years old, 50, 64, 68. It's not too bad at all. If we want to get our crown power up, let's get a cheeky camp follower up. So we can put him as a general. That'll push us to land and get us more crown power, which is always nice. We need to get our buildings done, get some more RGOs out. Serfdom's getting very high. Now, when do we get universal serfdom? Is that a age 3 advance? Aha. Universal serfdom. Or is it age 2? Be age 4, perhaps? Am I being blind? I very much could be blind. Where are we? Universal serfdom. Let's just, it's probably easier. Serfdom. No, it's not there at the moment. It will get to us at some point, but it's very good to get crown power and such, and we'll get there. Age 3. See, I did look at age 3, right? And I couldn't see it. I think I'm just blind. Very possible. I do need glasses in real life, so fair enough. But, yeah, I just couldn't see it. Maybe I'm blind. Let's have another look. Where are we? There we go, yeah. Universal serfdom. So crown power, peasant power reductions, and serfdom increases. This is what being high serfdom is very, very strong for. And combined with the other reforms you can get in this sort of 1.3 patch, which is very, very strong, it's very, very effective for us. More money. Let's get that RGO. Oh, the RGO cost is increasing. Why is that? The lumber price is going back up. So we need more lumber. Okay. What is our lumber looking like in our market? Still very heavy oversupplied. So I'm surprised the price is going up, but I guess we are constructing quite a lot. Let's just keep our lumber RGOs being expanded, and it should help that sort of situation for us. How are you guys enjoying the World Cup, by the way? England had a very dire draw, 0-0, with Ghana recently, who defended with their lives. And you've got to respect it, but people are not very happy with us at the moment. Let's get our ruler on our army. Lovely. And push through. So 88 ducats, and yeah, we want more lumber RGOs. They're always very effective. Let's get you there, why not? You should get some better control there with our bridges as well soon, which is lovely. Come on, England! Score some fucking goals! Yes. That was literally all of us yesterday. We were absolutely honking. We were horrific. It was not fun. But look, we are always cursed in the second game of every single World Cup. So the people complaining about it are a bit childish, including myself. But yeah, we're sort of used to it. We always draw the second game of every World Cup. It's kind of mad, but that's just England for you. Who are you guys supporting in the World Cup? Sadly, no Lithuania in the World Cup. That's quite sad, but never know. They could get there next time. I've got quite a lot of a family history from Latvia. I wish the Latvians were in it. My family left Latvia in like the Soviet Union and then went to England and became English. So good for me. We'll get some money from our burgers, stealing their shit, lovely. Communist stability, lovely. Clerical legitimacy we can do, but we want to kind of cost of court for a bit first, or use it on urban rights and stuff. Can we get any other urban rights? Not at the moment. Okay. Let's think about our unique buildings now. So like libraries are going to be quite effective, but they're not going to be good if we don't have books for it. So let's get some books. So scriptoriums. I guess we'll just start with 2. Why not? We'll do it in Vilnius. And then we shall get to make up for it. We'll get some libraries around. We'll just not, we can't even make them. Yeah, we don't have any books. That's annoying. Oh well, more RGAs. More stuff to be built, as always. They made England games so far away from each other. It's like a 10-hour flight from one to another. Yeah, it's mad. This time we're actually cursed. Yep. But like I think it was 1930s, 40s when the Soviets sort of invaded Latvia for the first time, and they just went beep and ran all the way across to England, and then set up near London in Surrey. I'm not from there now. I'm from the south, but they just moved around a bit. But it's weird where your history, when you actually look into it, it's so interesting. Like where you actually came from. You can now get naval governors for advances. That's cool. We could sort of use a land governor if we can get some cities in the east. Are there any actually cities that we can take? How you survive in the heat? God, it was awful. In the place really near me called Gosport, it had 36.1 degrees Celsius, the highest in the country yesterday. Now it's a lot better today. I still do have a fan on me, but it's okay. But we were the hottest place, or near the hottest place in the country yesterday, which is kind of mental. Well, and I know that if there's any Americans in the chat, you're like 36. That's nothing. In Texas, we get that every day. Yeah, well, it's not. The UK is like the most humid country on earth. The UK also, the UK also has no aircon in the entire country. You're basically just relying in sitting in your garden inside the bin if you want to cool down. You are entitled to it. And opening a window, that's all you can do. But the problem is, if it's actually hotter outside, you open a window, the hot air just comes in. So you have no aircon. You're in the most humid place on earth. Literally, it's like 99% humid in the UK at all times. It just constantly rains. It is like a death. Like, I went to Mexico 2 summers ago. It was so fun. I loved it. Like one of the best holidays I've ever had. And I was like learning Spanish at the time, so speaking Spanish with the locals. But it got up to like 41 degrees at some point in the Mexican jungle, and it was nowhere near how bad it was in England. Honestly, it was completely different. Because you're just not used to the humidity. It's like I don't even have a blind. It's like we have curtains, but I don't have a blind. It will be 41 degrees in Hungary on Monday. Ouch. That is not fun. Yeah, see, and this is why people like go on about climate change not being real. I'm like, come on, are you not looking at the environment we're now having to live in? Yeah, I don't understand how people can not believe in it nowadays that you're seeing the evidence right in front of you. Let's set up a control group for our army. Why not? Makes it a little bit easier. Control and a number, by the way, does that if you didn't know. And serfdom is always maxed out, which is lovely. Can we get that any further? So we could go banal lordship. I don't really want that. To be fair, it's not worth it. Innovative. We just need the universal serfdom next stage. To be fair, I consider Tory towns and cities spiritualists. That's fine. Anything in our... No, there's not really much more that we need. I mean, we can give some stuff to our tribes. Like communalism could be decent. You always forget about tribes, really. Expand farming costs. Get it done. Tribe levy size. Decentralization. I guess we'll do tribes allowed in cabinet. Why not? And then we'll just give the clergy action to get our legitimacy back. Lovely. Now, how close are we to getting our next war on the Teuton? Well, the truce is ended. So our next parliament will be able to do it. It's probably worth us getting our next diplomat to be a spy network in them. Could be quite decent. Or integrating Petosk. Whatever we can do first. We're doing quite a good job of getting this new stuff up to scratch, which is brilliant. Our tax base is going up nicely. We're starting to get books, which is lovely as well. I mean, scriptoriums are not going to give us that much value, but in 1.3, one of the big problems is that your estates are just so broke, especially if you don't have the control you need. So if you want to have your estates actually have money, you need to focus on buildings from all sides of it, not just the spiral that you're sort of building up. So we're now making some books, which is lovely. But do we actually have the dyes for those books? Well, we are importing it from Krakow, and we get some through Riga. We could maybe make a dye maker, to be fair. Yeah, let's do it. Kansas. I could just start saying Kansas to annoy you. Or Kansas, however you pronounce it. Let's do a parliament there just to make up for it. We could do exclusive hunting rights. Okay. Canonical law is decent, to be fair. The monthly control could be really good for us, considering we've just got this stuff cord. Stab investment, spiritualist, clergy charity. We don't really have that much good stuff. But rural craft chart is actually very good. Yeah, we'll do that. Because that gives us gathering cost and forestry cost minus 20% for 10 years. Insane. It's Valadoid all over again. See, I did that one deliberately though, so take that. Yeah, we'll go for this one. Well, and we need to try and get this buff passed. So we'll push more to serfdom, and there we go. Because this will make our stuff really cheap, especially as we're just spamming out RGOs at the moment. We're going to be very in the money, really. And we're sort of just proving that you can build an economy out of literally nothing, which is always good. More scriptoriums. How are we doing? Masonry's expensive as hell. Okay, let's get some more masons. So can we get one here? Nope, you're 2 out of 2. Mason. Where are we? Yeah, books is a problem and masonry is a problem. So we need to sort out the foundation of our economy. So let's sort by production efficiency and get some mason sorted, really. Do you there? We could maybe do one there as well. And we'll keep them all subsidised just because you need as much... you need them in good times and bad times. Because if you can build up a gigantic surplus, you get your really cheap buildings. Now we've got a cabinet slot we're not using. So let's start using them on something. Change societal values. Can we push any further into land? Not really. Can we push any further into quantity? Not really, sadly. I mean, if we got a 100-100 guy, maybe. But communalism seems to be our only abject one at the moment, which is fine. Communalism's a very good value. State satisfaction, rebel join threshold, heroic privilege, lovely. Not complaining at that one. Are you getting clan storage system reform? I think it's worth it. Absolutely. The problem is just getting to quantity. I just don't think you can do it in the second age, unless you've got any ideas. Because if you look through our laws, we've got the peasant levies, but that seems to be the only way we can push quantity at the moment. We haven't got any military law sets. Now, once we get, is it professional armies, we might be able to get the recruitment law. Now, the recruitment law will enable us to get, there should be one here. I believe there's one in recruitment law that lets you get quantity, but I can't see it at the moment. That's quality. I can't find it. But there should be a way to maybe get it through that. But from what I can hear on the great giant army, let's just say that again. Was I blind? Giant army. Where are we? We've got noble army, mercenary army, a new model army. Yeah, there's mass army. There we go, mass army. So that gives 0.1 to quantity. So getting that, so we'll rush professional armies if we can. Then that plus a 100 Diplo cabinet guy, if we can find one, should be just enough. But I don't want to bank anything on it. And the only issue is here is we're choosing this over getting a CB on our enemy, which is fine because this buff is really, really strong. And just spamming out lumber mills for like 5 or like 10 years is going to be perfectly fine with me. Just because it's going to be really, really cheap. And then getting lumber to be really cheap is even better. Yeah, so our RGO cost for lumber mills is now 69, but that's because of our masonry crisis. So let's continue focusing on the masonry for now, just getting it as profitable as possible. And we'll sort of spread it out. We need to get as many of them as possible, and we want to spread out so the manpower isn't really an issue. I might even do some minting in the short term, just so we can build some masons early to get that building cost reduction down, so we can make the most of that lumber cost reduction and get there. So yeah, so that should be just enough to get to 50 quantity. You can't get that law now, it's for later ages. That's probably the issue there, but we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Some more masons, please, good sir. We've got lots of clay in Lithuania, so we're fine. And we shall get there. I mean, our economy is doing very well. What's the tax rates of 50? Wealth of 87. Our control is looking very good. We can always do some more bridges. Get that up even further. Starting doing roads and stuff. But the Black Death is still ticking along a little bit. I mean, it's sort of not reaching us. It's sort of spreading really weirdly to other places. But as you can see, the spread is just not high enough in this current patch. Like the Black Death just not work how it's intended. Which is, I mean, a lot of people really hate the disease system. If you read the forums about 1.3, so some people might be happy about it, but I do actually like the realism of the Black Death. It's not exactly a mechanic that's made to make you very happy with it, but it's a mechanic that's made to challenge you. Ultimately, it's a single-player game, right? We want to actually have some challenge to make it fun to play and fun to watch. Otherwise, what's the point? If you're just playing a game to... Oh, 27 manpower. Lovely. We could get a standing army, to be fair. Would building up an army get us closer to quantity? If we have a look at our values, so we're pushing it slightly because of percentage of soldiers. Now I'm guessing that's our soldier actually estate. So if we spam castles, people in our military, it would probably get that value up. But it's not like just increasing your army size would help that much of it. But I mean, it's a passive bonus, so it could help. I mean, getting a good ruler trait could be very beneficial for that one. Getting another 0.5. The quantity trait, I think, gives that. Ultimately, we just need that recruitment law, and it should be enough. It's just going to take some time to get there. We want even more masons. I'm not opposed to it. We're making quite a few. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just spread out the wealth a little bit. We should never have masonry problems ever again. If we do, the game's having us on, ultimately. We spent so much money on it. How foreign powers regard us? Yeah, don't really care, mate. Let's just put our diplomatic spending up a little bit. We can start thinking about integrating Petosk. For 30 years for that little tiny state. It's mental, isn't it? Start annexation. Lovely. And let's just pull back on our diplomatic spending again. I do want to get that spinal rumbling there if we want to get a CB of our own. We need soldier pops. Yeah, that's the problem, right? And sure, we could spam out castles, but it's going to bankrupt our economy. Now, castles are really underrated at the moment because they do give possible nobles. They do actually help your economy, even if they do buff up your nobility power. Hey, thank you, Controller. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. And thank you again, Martin, for your donations earlier. Thank you guys for your support. We've got 90 quid in the bank. What do we want to spend it on? So yeah, the wall RGOs are just sort of very effective for us. And I do believe, because we've got that gathering cost reduction. Oh no, they're not getting the reduction from that. Is sad. We'll just stick with lumber at the moment, to be honest. We've got enough masonry. Actually, no, yeah, we'll save our money until we've got that lumber price and masonry price down. So how is our masonry surplus while we're there? So we are currently supplying quite a bit of it, but we're still having to import to make demand meet supply. So what we can do temporarily, if we want to get this down, is unautomize our trade, set up a trade order. Goods. If we want to go to masonry, and then we just import it manually, really. I do hate this new trade UI, if I'm honest. Yeah, let's set up a trade order. Probably makes it easier. As long as it's the options here. Sometimes the options aren't there. Mercury, lead, copper, gold. See, it's not even here. Masonry, there we go. I'm being blind. I'm just stick it on 9. So all of our marketplaces, our entire country, are now on spamming out masonry. So it should quickly lower this RGO cost, which should make our life a hell of a lot easier. Now, it might not be the most profitable trade. Yeah, it's not even letting us do it because it's just too unprofitable. So can we manually do it with someone? There's no surplus of masonry really anywhere, but there is this sort of places where we can do it, like Novgorod. There we go. We'll start a gigantic trade with Novgorod. Now, we should get quite a bit of masonry from them. That should sort of crash our prices a little bit, which is what we're hoping to achieve. And then we can spend this big old money in our bank on loads of lumber. And we can start up that economic spiral. Now, let's just check. Lumber. We'll get there. Lovely jubbly. 63. So yeah, now that big surplus of masonry is going to get those prices down very quickly. So it's at 15% now, and then after the month ticks, it should be a lot better. If I release a vassal as a monarchy, and then I change to a republic, will my vassals also change, or will they stay as monarchies? I imagine they'll stay as a monarchy with your previous ruler. You won't lose them. It's not like it's a PU, which you might lose. But yeah, I imagine they'll just stay as your previous ruler, just as a monarchy. But I don't know for sure. You should test it out. That'd be really interesting to know. How's Lithuania having fun with it? Absolutely. The starting war was quite hard. We did lose. Well, not lose. We did win it, but it was quite hard. Bloody mosquitoes. Yeah, it's got quite a bit of flavour, to be honest. It's a challenging location. It's got no RGOs, so we're having to build an economy out of nothing. And we're sort of using that lumber, coal, iron spiral, or at least that's the plan. And we will refer to that with the vid that comes out tomorrow. But we're just sort of doing the groundwork work. We've got no really strong RGOs. We're just sort of sorting out the basics, seeing what we can achieve, and we'll get down there eventually, right? We're sort of spamming masonry into our market at the moment. Albeit the annoying thing is, we're still negative on masonry apparently, even though we're sort of spamming a hell of a lot in through trade. It might just be going into our stockpile, but it seems the prices don't seem to be going down fast enough, and that's why we've got a big old monetary sort of stockpile, really, ultimately. Lithuania has no valuable RGO, decent close trade ones from the Teutons, the Amber, and the Fruit Iron. Yeah, it's not a great place for RGOs, but what it is a good place in, and the reason why we chose them, is food RGOs. And the good thing about food RGOs is you can spam population, and that's the plan. Now, we might do some fancy slave shenanigans if we go north. We might try and import some slaves, actually, and do it that way and pay money for them. But the fact we can use our RGOs on slaves means that we can get some decent buffs from that respect. Now, let's see if there's any... Yeah, so this guy is ruler in one of our vassals. Have we got any other people in our family tree that we can sort of use to put into our cabinet? Have a look. So this guy is from the Petoska. No, she's terrible. Ultimately, what we're looking for is a really high diplomacy guy. Because if we have a really high diplomacy... No! We lost our first cousin who was a prodigy and had insane stats. Just from the plague or some sort of disease. That's insane. Will you remain pagan or turn Catholic? I probably won't turn Catholic. I'm not a big fan of Catholicism at the moment in terms of the game, not real life. The Pope actually has been quite based in real life recently, declaring a war on AI. And I'm not really a big fan of AI, if I'm honest. The fun religions are Orthodox and probably Norse. So we could try and go Norse, but you've got to get the event for it, which would be quite hard. Or just stay in pagan and trying that out, to be honest. They've got some good population buffs. It's just trying to get a way to get the slavery system to work. And that might be one I have to sort of figure out off camera to then preach in game and figure it out. So we can try and roll for it. Let's hire some courtiers. This is stupid. This is really stupid. Norse is so bad for RPing as Lithuania. Fair enough. Yeah, we didn't really get anyone that good, which is sad. I was hoping to just roll someone insane, but it didn't go our way, unfortunately. We could go for an 81 diplomacy guy, and it's better than nothing. His cabinet trait isn't great, though. Conversion speed? Yeah, we'll go for the conversion speed guy, why not? And he'll continue assimilating that state for us, which is lovely. Are these guys, they are being annexed? Lovely, yeah, but look at that base cost, right? This is a big problem that I do think they need to change as soon as possible. A base cost of 200 for Petosk is insane. That's insanely high. It's not legitimate. I know they really want to get rid of the one province vassal meta, right? It's not exactly very fun to play with or very historically accurate, but he's just making the other systems like stupidly broken and not very fun. The way to do it, probably not the best way to balance something, if we're honest. But welcome to Paradox. So we have 45 ducats in the bank. Are there any fancy old burger buildings that we can make to get some good use out of it? More bridges, tailors guilds. It's a good few. Nothing that overpowered though. More just getting that masonry cost down, to be fair, and getting some more peasants upgraded here to get the actual masons being used. Because having the right yeah, Paradox mod said integration was not adjusted in 1.3.6. Yeah, it's just 1.3 overall, not 1.3.6. It might have actually just been a 1.2 change. It's been there for a while now, to be honest, but it's been there for a long time. And I do really think they should change it a bit. I do think it's overtuned. Yeah, we're just spamming a lot about these iron places at the moment. Getting a really big iron surplus is really strong for an economy, sort of whatever stage you're in. Does Lithuania have an irrigation loop? I guarantee we'll be able to create one. We have so many food RGOs. We're going to be able to make a lot of food. And that's sort of the point of this run. I want to make us into a breadbasket and see if you can make an economy out of it. We're already getting some decent money out of selling food. We're not really even trying it. Like, our food surplus in our market is decent, 1.2k. And the thing is, as my sort of game plan for this is, as the other markets start urbanizing stupidly, right? Every other nation in the game is going to urbanize everything into towns and cities. If we're making loads and loads of food, they're going to have to buy it from us. They're going to have to buy it from us at crazy high food prices. So we'll be able to make a food economy out of nothing. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to test out Lithuania and make it a bit of a breadbasket playthrough. So possible rivals. Let's just put, I guess, Novgorod. We could try it with Novgorod. Or does Kiev hate us? Kiev isn't our biggest fan, to be fair. Yeah, let's just put it Novgorod, why not? I might regret that. Fine. Let's chuck a little bit into Diplo spending, just so we can actually get some progress on what we want to achieve, and then we can start doing some like CBs and stuff like that. Because we've got our levies back, so we can start thinking about doing some wars. We've got 10,000 troops. Also, shouldn't you try to conquer the Teutons so they can convert everything to Prussian? I mean, you could form Prussian, right? That's not a bad idea. But we're sort of just sticking with our culture as it is at the moment. Honestly, if you don't destroy Kiev in 1.3.6, it will destroy you later. I mean, yeah, their levies are already crazy. But their tax base is similar to us. So we might have to take them out, but they've got a coalition on them already, damn. Can we join that? If we could join that, that could be a good way to do it. Join coalition. No, we don't have enough AE against them. That's quite sad. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And if you fancy joining the channel membership, there's a link in the description as well. We've got 91 ducats in the bank now. We've still got this cost debuff, so let's just keep going on our fancy old stuff. Have we got the cost reduction for farms? No, we don't. It's just gathering industries, really. We don't have that many of them at the moment, which is quite sad. But assault could be decent, but it's still very expensive. Wool, yeah. I mean, the lumber cost reduction that's going very well for us is brilliant. We just need to keep these lumber mills going and make the most out of this buff. We haven't got it for that much longer. We should have, hopefully, enough production to last us a long old time after we finish with this. And getting a big old lumber surplus should set us up for a long old time. Oh, France are beating Norway. Senegal are beating Iraq. So crazy stuff going in the World Cup games. Let me know who you are supporting in the chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. Obviously, I'm an England fan. You can tell from my accent. And we are going to win it. Classic England fan, being very obnoxious that we're going to win it all. But no, it's not going to be that easy. But I do think we have a chance this year. England have got a good squad. It's just, the problem with England isn't actually the quality of the players. It's always just the mentality and the media. Because the media are always stupid about us. Like, hyping us up like we're going to win and then, like, berating people when we don't. It's mad. But welcome to the modern era, really. Sometimes you wish that you should just be playing in a 1300s Lithuania and see where you go. Camp followers, lovely. Crown 23%, that's brilliant. We need to get a marriage for our ruler, but there's just no one he can marry. It's annoying. Paganism is annoying us. We just have to go for a low one, I think. Hopefully she's good. She's actually good. That's actually good. 93, 73, 60. That's brilliant. She's calm as well. So she could be a really good ruler if we ever have any like inheritance issues or whatever. Let's keep going on these lumber RGOs. We've got a lot of supply coming out, which is lovely. The Black Death, has it finally? Oh, it has. The Black Death's arrived in our country. So it is sort of going around. It's not killing everyone, but it's at least killing some people. Let's push segregate the infected. That will help us push communalism. We could do expel the sick, but I don't want to waste the money for it. Mass forgiveness. Yeah, we can do that for stability in a bit. Move court into hiding. That would stop our guy dying, but I think I'm just going to risk it. We don't want to waste the stability. But it's probably a sensible move to do, to be honest. But it's not the end of the world. Now, let's start going on a spy now on the Teutons. We want to go and deal with them before they fully replenish. because they've got a lot of regular troops, and we don't want them to get manpower from all of Europe and then start using it on us. So now we've got our masonry crisis sorted. Let's stop just importing it from Novgorod and put our trade on automated again. We can actually start thinking about getting some marketplaces going, to be fair. But just because we've got a lot of trade control. So we can, we've got lots of fancy RGOs here. Even though we don't have it in our actual country, we've got it in our market. Meaning that we can steal the amber from over here and export it for our own goods. So going for marketplaces probably isn't a bad idea. And then it will then create lumber-related demand as well. So like marketplaces, they need a lot of paper, they need salt, they need cloth, they need jewellery. All of that is demand that we can then make buildings out of and actually increase our economy that way. Is that lumber RGO cost reduction still there? Let's have a quick look. 51 it is, yeah. So we'll still continue spamming out these lumber RGOs for now. I forgot about minting, so let's pull that back a bit. Hopefully we get balanced the budget. No wonder our building cost is getting a little bit expensive, but it's fine. We're just making the most out of that unique buff that we... Yeah, the Black Death is dying out very quickly, even if it has reached us. So I can see why it's a bit of a problem. You support Messi? Fair enough. You can also urbanize everything to towers, make a lot of money, making paper cloth perhaps. Absolutely, but we can sort of see how we want to go. It's the beauty about Lithuania is we can actually play quite wide. Like all of this stuff should be open to us as the game goes on. So we could even think about doing like a Lithuanian to like Russia line and seeing if we can get any fancy buffs stacked through that. The opportunities are endless. We just sort of need to decide what way we want to push ultimately. Diplomats we could probably use, to be fair. Let's do it. Spy network, that's fine. Let's just keep improving relations with a lot of our vassals, get them very loyal, and make the most out of these diplomats. They over our diplomatic capacity, pretty, yeah, a little bit, but it's be fine. I don't like how the diplomatic capacity just deletes any excess diplomats you have. I think it's a bit of a cliff edge, and I'm never a fan of a cliff edge. If you're if you've gone over, you should have the choice of being able to. So I want to save this for a little bit and see it like go down drastically, rather than be forced to like use it straight away, because that is a bit of a problem for me. Asked to improve cultural opinion. Sure, let's get it done. Actually, let's just save our diplomats for a bit. Do we want to take in refugees? We could do. But obviously, we still got the plague, and if we do that, the plague will come to us. So we're not going to do that. Sorry, guys. That would be a bit stupid. Are there any other fancy other things we could go for yet? Not yet. Fine. The growing community. Yeah, there's a lot we can do, but we've just got to get the right values for it. We're pushing communism loads at the moment, which is fine. We want to keep all of our stuff sorted if we can. So getting rid of this plutocracy one could be very good. Stability or integrated Ruthenian laws. That gives cabinet efficiency and legislative efficiency. I mean, that is decent, and it would be good to have, but it's not exactly a very good estate privilege. I mean, I'll just take it so we can have the option. I mean, forming Ruthenia could be cool. What culture do you have to be if you want to form Ruthenia? So I know we're assimilating stuff to our culture at the moment, but if we go to cultures of location, if we sort of took a lot of this stuff, we could maybe form Ruthenia. That could be a decent way to do it. It's a very strong country. From the 1300s onwards, the forests of Lithuania fled trade for Hansa, oak, pine, especially tar and pitch, were shipped via Baltic ports to places like England and Low Countries. English shipbuilding in the 1400s, 1500s increasingly relied on Baltic oak, and the forests were indirectly part of that through Baltic intermediate. That's really interesting. Yeah, you're never actually taught that. Like in British schools, right? You're taught, okay, Henry VIII was a very bad ruler. This is literally what you're taught, right? You're taught Henry VIII very bad. He had 6 wives. He made a big fleet to fight France. Big fleet got sunk by the Spanish, but ended up winning anyway because we're the British and we're the best. But he cut down pretty much every single oak tree in the entire country to make this big fleet. And then you're just never told like how they got ships after that, because we were obviously a naval power for about 600 years after that. You're never really told anything more, but that's quite interesting. You learn something every day, really. But yeah, the history of it is that the English we cut down pretty much most of our old oak forest to make these fancy ships through our constant wars in Europe, and then apparently we're relying on places like Lithuania, which is really interesting. I wonder how they got the big old oaks that far across though, because shipbuilding oaks you really have to have in that big form, otherwise they lose their structural integrity, which is a bit of an issue if you're trying to build a warship. So I really wonder how they managed to get them all the way to Britain without like cutting them up. That must have been a logistical challenge. History is so interesting. Yeah, and it's like it's the big argument for like flavour in EU5, isn't it? It's like why can they not integrate its history a little bit more? How foreign powers regard us? That's fine, indifferent. Small RGOs. Our economy is going very, very well at the moment. Wasn't Lithuania the first country to leave the Soviet Union, or one of them? I don't know. I think that's a question for Mr. Dice. Any fancy estate interactions we can go for? Our clergy do like us. We go for levy size. It's all about whether we're actually going to use it. Just check that's not going to kill us. Otherwise, I might have to make some marketplaces. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, our economy that we're building out, literally nothing is going very well at the moment. When most people talk about what they didn't learn in school, I think of a lot if they just forgot. Because I do remember my pre-GCSE lessons to be very chronological and not excluding English atrocities. I mean, I think they got better at that when time went on. It's like our perception of empire is very different to what it was 100 years ago, right? People were taught like 50, 100 years ago to, oh, the empire was amazing. We never did anything wrong. We were the best and we are the best. And now I think it's gone completely the other way. It's like, don't get me wrong, I would describe myself as woke, right? And I do think the empire was a very bad thing. If you go through school, they tell you all about the atrocities, and they don't exemplify it as the mixed thing it actually was. Because if you do actually look at the history of the empire, right, there are some significant achievements other than just going around and stealing everyone's shit, right, and enslaving people, and that was all bad, right? But they also paid 100% of Britain's GDP in 1 year to end slavery. That's insane, right? It's probably one of the biggest, best things a country has ever done on the world stage. Do they teach it? Not really. And ultimately, you just need a bit of balance, really. I think my problem with empires is that it was just very self-centered ultimately at the end of the day. Is we were quite obviously doing it for our own gain. We weren't doing it like some people suggest to, oh, we wanted to bring trains and urbanize people and bring technology. No, we wanted to go around and take their stuff for ourselves. But it doesn't mean there were no bad things. It's just a bit more of a mixed picture than people make out. Yeah, we ended slavery while also maintaining brutally oppressed subjects. Exactly right. It was a very bad thing. And that's sort of the problem with history. It's you're always getting the perspective of history of whoever is teaching history to you. Exactly now, right? The perspective on British history is going to be very different if you have a Brit talking to you like me or an American talking to you. Like if I put on some crappy American accent and started telling you about the war for independence and how they burnt down our White House and we have freedom, it's going to be a very different tale. So ultimately, history is what's the saying? It's like history is decided by the victor ultimately, and it's pretty much right. Like the good thing is nowadays, nothing ever is hidden. We've got the internet. You can talk to anyone. No, nothing is ever truly private. It means that you can never forget. And it's sort of the annoying thing about modern politics. When you go on stuff like Twitter and X, and it's a cesspit of, and like moon denying and the earth is flat and all of these like stuff that we disproved centuries ago. And you're like just trying to regress. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Now, the Black Death is sort of being very weird. This is not how the Black Death should be. We've only lost 100,000 people to it. It's still like 15, 16% of our population. But not exactly great, but better than nothing. Pushed serfdom or lose legitimacy. I'll just serfdom, why not? Makes it easier. Our trade is not going very well. So why don't we set up some trade orders? So sugar, do 1 sugar. We're not going to export books as we don't have enough for ourselves at the moment. So this is like a manual trade, but sort of a semblance of it, where it doesn't really cause us any issues. Sugar, silver. Can we get any gold? I mean, we'll try gold if we can see it. I'm blind. I'll just leave it for now. Anything else we can import? More masonry. I mean, why not? If it's profitable. Copper. I guess we'll try books. Lead, and we'll see what's profitable out of that. Do you think paradox will make pop growth less tedious? Well, I've been seeing this debate on Reddit quite a lot, right? And I hate to be the anti-fun brigade, right? Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. Let's just leave it automated. I hate to be the anti-fun brigade, but I don't truly hate how slow the pop growth is in the game at the moment. And don't go, oh my god, how? It's only 0.5%, right? Okay, yeah, it seems tiny because it's net, right? It doesn't account for deaths. Now, maternal and infant mortality in this time period was gigantic. There was a reason why people had 8 or so kids, because they knew 4 or 5 of them wouldn't survive, right? That was part of the point. Yeah. Oh my god, it's only 0.5%. And obviously we have disease on top of that, right? And that isn't factored into it, and I get that. But how do you solve it? Because if you look at the paradox propaganda, and it is paradox propaganda because I define it as paradox is trying to teach you something. They're trying to get you to believe in their vision of the game by telling you specific stats and logic to get you to agree with them. Pretty much the definition of propaganda. They will tell you that population gets to within 20% of where it was historically by the end of the game. Whether that's a higher or lower figure, I'm not sure. I'm going to guess lower. Now, there is a big argument to say, right, okay, people aren't building hospitals by the time you get to the mid-game because diseases aren't really a thing. So why don't we make hospitals actually save lives? But which seems very logical, right? Like, oh my god, if we die, we're going to go to a hospital. Crazy. But what people don't actually mention is that hospitals in this time period didn't actually save lives, really. And I know it seems weird, but I read this really interesting paper recently. It was the reason why, until about 1700, maternal mortality, so like when a woman is given birth, the chance they'll die was, I believe, 5 or 6 times higher in hospital births versus home births. And the reason is they didn't understand germ theory. They didn't understand sanitation. They didn't understand that they had to wash their hands. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people in society who still don't do that, right? But there's a big difference between having a near probably 10% maternal mortality and 40%. And the simple reason was that midwives, they weren't sticking their hands in dead bodies and then using it to deliver babies, because that's what the old doctor did. The hospitals in this time period were actually sources of infection, sources of disease, sources of death. And there's a reason why people avoided them like the plague. Now, hiring doctors and stuff, sure, seems a good thing in theory as well. But when you look at the treatments that these doctors were doing in this time period, they basically had no effect. And like leeches and stuff could actually make your condition worse. So whilst it may seem like a good idea in theory, did they actually decrease mortality? I'm not so sure. Now, the problem is it's ultimately a game, right? And Johan said this himself. If you look at the recent, when he came out and chatted all those questions about EU5, right? He had a big chat about it, and they came together and they were like, yes, okay. And this is a direct quote of, sure, we want realism, we want simulation. But at the end of the day, it needs to be a game because it is a game, and people are playing it because they want to have fun. So, having hospitals and doctors buffing like survival rates may be a bit ahistorical, but it's probably a good thing for the game. I'd be on board, and it probably needs to be a little bit higher. But functionally, you can actually get really high population growth rates. It just is tedious. And I just don't think it's based on the right metrics. It's like food, fair enough, but sparsity, like sort of space, that's a bit more of a modern argument. Because like if you look at the modern like countries like England, right? There's a big housing crisis. So people aren't having children because they know they're not going to have kids. And it's so expensive. But having available land, like the fact we're not near our population capacity, isn't really a thing that would increase population. It's not going to make people be like, okay, I need to have more kids. It's going to be like, oh, I need to... There's food. There's spare food, so we can actually afford it. Now, that's a good one. But having extra land could actually decrease the chance that you meet someone in those day and ages, right? Because there's no cars for you to drive around to a different province in Lithuania and find someone. So these arguments are not as obvious as they seem. So do we want closed borders? I mean, probably not the worst thing in the world. It would give us 41%. The religious diplomats, if we granted it, would give us extra diplomats for moves to conciliatory. But we'll do that first. Closed borders. We will then... We'll do it. Yes, we can. We'll take a CB on Lithuania Minor. It's got Lithuania in the name. We deserve it. And we'll do one conciliatory push. Now, this will get us promote urbanization, which is brilliant because it gives us a free town and pop satisfaction, which is lovely. Because now we've actually got books. We can think about making the unique buildings like libraries, etc., etc. And going down that route to create more demand into our economy. We'll get there. Now, any other fancy RGOs? I believe, yeah, we've lost our debuff. That's fine. We made those a lumber. We don't need to waste money on that anymore. So we've got our fancy new town over here, which is brilliant because it's in a really good high control location. So what do we want to actually make here? I mean, starting off with a library is probably a good idea. Let's get them done. Libraries! Woo! And I mean, libraries are obviously insane, right? I don't need to convince you on that. Is there any meaningful migration between nations? What does closed borders actually do? There is, but only if you're in the same market. So, for example, these provinces up here can actually migrate to us if we have some migration attraction for it. But us between Kiev, no way. I must have missed your wheat trivia fact. I'll have a look. Let's have a look. I'm from Texas, and they barely ever mentioned anything outside the US in school. Yeah, welcome to America. America has a lot of stereotypes for a reason. I'm really not surprised. Yeah, I mean, just look at the World Cup at the moment, right? America it's got this big stereotype of being overtly capitalist. The first World Cup ever to have ads in the halfway point. Like, come on, guys. I do think we need a mandatory civics class. Absolutely. The UK doesn't have one. Absolutely needs one. Other people oppressed their own nationals more than colonial Britain usually did. People say it was oppressive, but never talk about how horrible previous governments were. Yeah, it's more mixed, right? But it doesn't excuse what the empire did, right? You can only judge it on what the empire did, not what people were doing before. It's like I've actually seen it said by some people, oh yeah, the British slave trade was a lot better than the African slave trade because we didn't kill them, we just like used them for their labour and then rape their women. It's like, no, it's not acceptable. And like us ending it is really good as well, but it doesn't excuse the fact that we did in the first place, right? The Lithuanians exported wheat through the Hansa, helping supply grow Western European cities like London and Amsterdam, and supporting population recovery after the Black Death. Absolutely. I do think Crimea was probably bigger in that respect, though, but it's really interesting. Lithuania actually goated. See, you're trying to outclass by Latvianism at the moment. Lithuania was the first country to leave the Soviet Union and a big part of its collapse. That's really cool. I actually do need to do some more research into the Soviet Union collapse. I never really fully understand it. It's like there's such a big superpower to just like one day just decide go, nah, I'm not really a thing anymore. It does seem a bit crazy. I don't know as much history as I probably should. Would love to learn a bit more about that one. Any fancy new RGOs? Vilnius has got no people at all. Well, yeah, let's just focus on our burger buildings at the moment. Stuff like libraries. We've got the books for it. It'll be fine. We just need to get the population. The Black Death doesn't help with that, and we've actually been hit pretty hard by this non-existent Black Death. It's had a really weird spread path. So I don't know. It seems to have actually spread quite a lot in this game. I know it's only 30 million deaths in comparison to like this 80 million it usually gets, but we've still been hit pretty hard by it. So I don't know. I don't really know what people are complaining about, to be honest. Now our trade is not doing. The automation is not doing very well for us at the moment, but let's give it some time. Let's see if it fixes itself. Sometimes your trade is often fixed by just a cheeky restart, to be honest. It can sort of fix all your issues for you. Country action on cooldown. Yeah, we've got a diplomat now, but we probably want to start getting that humiliate rival. I know we've got a CB. Let's do it. Let's start the war on the Teutons. Let's not call in Wolgast and call in the entire hatchery. Parliament approved claims. Let's do it. Oh, now that was a weird sound effect. Summon the levies. We're not losing this one again. Are our vassals in it? Yes. So hopefully they're on... You're definitely on supportive, right, guys? Right? Yeah. They better do it. Otherwise, I'm going to stick us... We just built so much lumber. I'm going to get one of those pieces of lumber and stick it so hard up every single leader's ass if they don't join my army. Now, that is my own ass, which is a bit of a problem for a lot of my vassals. let's not talk about that one. But the euphemism is still there. Now they've got a lot of troops actually. I guess they do have quite high control. Now we can actually change their capital location now. Not while we're at war, but we should probably have a look at that after we're over and done. I can't comment on the education of other countries. Yeah, fair enough. Neither could I really. Yeah, I think the problem with pop growth isn't necessarily the values and the numbers. It's just how tedious it is. And I think making it a bit more user friendly is going to be a good thing for the game. Like usability is going to be Paradox's key objectivity, right? It's a game at the end of the day, and Johanna said that himself. But what do we know? We're not multi-million-pound game devs at the end of the day. Right. They're starting to attrition. Let's just get some early stack wipes, and we should be good. They're way more scary in that first war than they are in any subsequent war, ultimately. I really wish diseases did other things other than just death. That's a really good point. Like, why are we not having like a pop class that I know it would be really hard to code, right? But people who are maimed, people who like can't work, like dependents. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Why is there not like a thing for the vast majority of people affected by the plague or smallpox who were like afflicted by the plague so badly that they survived, but then they were an economic drain on the state? And that might be a really cool way to actually slow down the economic spiral in the game. That is really, even, I know it's been really slowed down in 1.3 and 1.2 in fact, still too fast. Like, because if you look at like how the economy, like took, I think the stat is, over time, it took 200 years for the economy to double in GDP. Whereas we have tripled, I know we haven't, the Black Death just hit, but we still doubled our GDP in 25 years? I get it's a game, right? That's part of the problem, but it's very ahistorical in how fast the economy grows. Hospitals should just increase pop growth. It's simpler from having a separate death rate. Yeah, but I don't think EU5 was designed to be simple, if I'm honest, right? EU5 is overly complex, and that's a good thing. It's the reason why it's so hard to learn, but it's also the reason why it's going to be a great game, because I'd much rather have a brilliant... Martin, I'm going to name my firstborn son after you for your donations today. I appreciate you. It's much easier to have it's a much better process for a game long term to have a game that's got the mechanics to start with than just to have flavour. So I very much like having the good mechanics and the good complexity to make it a really fancy game, because it's 2026, almost 2027. We should be able to have some fancy shit, and separating it all out, making like maimed pops or something is something they could do. It would just take a lot of editing hours, and classic Paradox. If they were going to do it, it would be done as a DLC. Let's be real. But welcome to Paradox Interactive. Can you buy my £20 Focus Tree DLC? What do you get in this DLC? One Bhutan Focus Tree. Okay, anything else? You get a leader portrait. Lovely. Am I going to buy it? Maybe not, but they make their money off the people who love those games, right? And I will buy all of the EU5 DLCs. So it's, yeah. Welcome to Paradox Interactive. But this is what they do, and we're used to it by now. I mean, the good thing is, right, it's that these games are so overly complex, and the DLCs make them even more complex, that you're guaranteed value out of them if you like them. Like, I don't do it anymore, but a few years ago, I'd have bought every single FIFA. So, like, FIFA 18, FIFA 19, FIFA 20, FIFA 21, etc., etc., etc. I'd have bought every single one, and each one would have been, like, 60 quid. I then have to pay for PlayStation Plus for a year, so that's 60 quid again to play it. I'd have to play for EA Play if I wanted because I played a thing called Ultimate Team, which is like the most play-to-win game mode you could ever have. You'd like pay money to build your own team. Like you'd buy EA Play to get early access, so you could have an advantage over your mates and stuff. And then you're near like 150 quid just to play the game. And then you play it for 50 hours. You get pissed off at all the sweats and how bad the game is, and the fact that the game is the exact same as from the year before, and then you never play it again. Meanwhile, I pay 50, 60 quid for EU5. I have over 1,000 hours already. Now, sure, I'm the exception that proves the rule with EU5, right? I've played a hell of a lot of it, but the vast majority of my parents' games I've played a lot of hours in. Even my like least played one. Let's not talk about Imperator Rome. If you mention that name in front of me, you're getting timed out and banned. Fuck Imperator Rome. I will never hold back on that game. I have serious PTSD. But like Stellaris, right? Stellaris I really enjoy. I think it's is I would call it Paradox's best game, right? We're going to run away from the plague there. Why? Oh, the army's got the plague. That's really annoying. Okay, we're just going to have to firm it. We're losing a lot of people there. I think Solaris is one of Paradox's best games. It's because it's been rebuilt from the ground so many times, and the systems are really modern. I've still only got 300 hours in it, but I probably paid maybe 20 quid near it after a few years after release, and I've still got 400 hours in it. So if you compare that to what you're paying for a lot of the Call of Duties or the FIFAs and those type of games, you're getting a lot better value. And I know Paradox DLC is kind of expensive, but you get good value of them as long as you specialize into the games you actually enjoy. Like, if you're a CK free player, or if you're a Vicky free player, you're going to get, like, you've got infinite replayability because of the simulation aspect of it. Doesn't mean you have to be overly infused into that simulation aspect, but it is there. Obviously, that's the big debate of EU5, isn't it? Simulation versus, well, I can't remember what the name is called, but the other one. Basically, flavor versus just simulation stats and mission trees and stuff. I'm definitely a big advocate for mission trees, but I know not everyone is. Let's get this guy. Can we make him head of the cabinet? We'll make you head of the cabinet. Why not? You're older. And we are going to try and change you to quantity. See if we can... Oh, we can't. That's that. Okay, can we get any further values that are cool? Serfdom, aristocracy. We might as... I mean, we're so far into innovative now. We might as well just push it, to be honest. Land? Why don't we go further to land? Let's do land. Riga. The siege of Riga is going quite well. Why are you reading academic papers when you can recite memes? Fair point. Welcome to my brain. Undiagnosed ADHD. It would be cool if there were events or the first suggestions regarding germ theory. It was first theorized in the mid-1500s. That would be interesting. But it's like what's the mechanic in EU5? You know, like when the goods price changes over time to reflect technology. They absolutely need to introduce that. That was so fun and so cool because you could just you weren't bound to an economy spiral for the entire game. Like you built different economies as the game went on. It was so useful. I know you can change your RGOs with a fancy like New World system, right? But it's still very, very different. Solaris is great, but for me, it's only playable with mods, or it's getting boring too fast. I can't really talk. I'm a big multiplayer person. That's why I haven't really played much Solaris, because my friends don't really play Solaris multiplayer or Solaris at all. So that's why I got really into Hoi 4 back in the day, because it is Paradox's best game for multiplayer. I got about 1,500 hours into Hoi 4 like 2 years from release. Just because I would just like get home from school, I'd play multiplayer for like 6 hours every day, and I got really into it. But the problem with Hoi is that the community is too multiplayer oriented. It really is. And it's so toxic. And it's the reason why I just gave up on it. It's like you have a lot of like the racism stuff, and that's bad enough. But for me, like even before it got that bad, it was just like to even play like a major, you'd have to verify you had 1,000 hours, and you'd have to do checks on your skill and to see if you were good enough. And I understand it from a hosting point of view. I'm plotting a multiplayer, and we will have to do some sort of vetting for hours. Probably not skill, but just seeing people play the EU5 enough to make it viable for them to play like for hours or something. If you are interested in multiplayer, please join the Discord in the link in the description. If it's not working, do say I can always chuck it in chat. But I just think Hoi went too far in that respect. But I do really enjoy Hoi. I just don't think it's a game you can really play that much in single player. But E5 and Vicky, you can definitely do. Yeah, a lot of interesting ideologies with Hoi 4 players. Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? It's sort of not necessarily a bad thing because it gives people a place to express the stuff they would just keep to themselves. And I'm definitely an advocate for people being able to say stuff and get it out of their system so they don't end up keeping it inside and doing something they might regret. But it does cause issues, quite obviously, because you've got quite a lot of alt-right opinions in those sort of lobbies, and they're not exactly the best place. I would have expected it more Vic 3. I think Vic 3 sort of attracts same sort of pop people EU5 is like economy nerds, and a lot of those people are quite centrist and quite balanced. And yeah, I do really like Vic 3 though. The one gripe I have for Vic 3, and I do intend to play it more because the economy is so fun and the government system is so fun. It's just the military system. It's so bad. Just having they've uncooked. Oh, that's good. That's a good little okay. Sound. Right, what do we want to take? So the Teutons and their vassal are fully us. So let's have a look at the culture map mode quickly. Latvian culture. Well, I could try and take some of my homeland. We could do that. It's got decent RGOs. Lots of lumber, some amber up there. We could try and get that amber. Or we could push for the amber in like the Prussian coast and get some good value out of that. Take Poland. But we can take quite a lot, to be fair. It's just the AE is going to be a problem. We could do those two. We could think about taking Riga. That's 61. But that's a lot of AE already. And we've got to be careful, as we've mentioned a few times, of Kiev and problems that way. So if we just sort of sneaked for the amber provinces, perhaps. I mean, it's going to be a little border gory, but maybe something like that. 34. Any good other RGOs near? Fair, World Game. Something like that, perhaps. Anything else? Every stupid person has a platform to express their stupidity on the internet. Oh, yeah, fair enough. It's probably a good way to describe it. But that's sort of the point, isn't that right? Don't spread hate, but be yourself and express yourself, because not everyone can do that in real life. That's quite sad. Don't forget about the cabinet diplomacy action. Oh, good shout, mate. Good shout. I do sometimes forget that, and it's really annoying. So let's do that quickly. And I do think we probably want some money as well. Actually, no, it's not that much. Yeah, let's just focus on land. Right, how much AE would this get us? Just push forward for a second. I mean, we could always like release vassals and stuff. I do think taking stuff for actually ourselves is probably quite good. And we've got the money now. We've got a good economy, so we can always build roads and stuff. So this would cause a coalition of Courland, Livonia, Riga, Warmia, the Teutons, Pomerania. That's not too bad. I do want to keep Sweden out of it, though. So can we sort of coalesce Lower Prussia? Make it easier on ourselves? Get all the amber provinces. The Warmia, yeah. So Brandenburg are close to joining. Wolgast could join, but we've got a truce with them. Yeah, let's just take the full amount, to be honest. Let's just get it done. I believe that should be good. Legumes, fibrous crops. Yeah, that'd be fine. We're taking a hell of a lot of land. So let's just jump off assimilation and get integrating these provinces. We'll start off with the Prussian stuff because we want the amber and to get control over it fast. That will be very good to export. Getting into our market is going to be good enough, to be honest. How is Kiev doing? They are quite strong. They've got some very good levies. 20,000 levies. And they've got almost double our population. So they are a slight problem. Vic 3 isn't long enough. I can see that. It's very much like a high time span, where if you want to do it in like a 24-hour session, you can. But do you really want to put yourself through that? It's very different to the EU series, so both EU4 and EU5, where you've obviously got 400 or 500 years that just go crazy. Could we use development here? Probably not. Let's just... But he's decent, to be fair. Yeah, let's just take the development. Why not? Portia is a cousin. Yeah, let's just let them marry him. Why not? Something into the world. Let's get our levies down. Our king's still a general, which is nice. He's got a general trait as well, which is going to push us further into land, which is nice. Which is obviously a very good value for us at the moment, considering our proximity situation. On hindsight, we maybe could have taken some stuff like there, because it's got better control, but I'm happy with what we've done. We can always think about getting some maritime presence up and doing it that way. Also, just releasing vassals could be decent as well. Like a very good Riga vassal could be viable, to be honest. It's a good city to have to ourselves. We'll figure it out. But our wealth has gone up and our tax base hasn't, so we've got to be careful. So let's jump back on our Diplo spending. Let's just save as much money as we can. Keep our taxes at 50%. Are there any estate actions we can go for? Emergency grant, yes please. Legitimacy, yes please. Form a reduction on the nobility. Yep, let's do that. They're above 25%, so it won't cause us too many problems. And stability, please. Let's go. Lovely. We've now got 427 in the bank. So, let's make some of our fancy buildings. Now, temples, I know they got nerfed recently. But we do want temples, because they've got a secret modifier they don't actually tell you about, and that's pop satisfaction. They do really increase pop satisfaction. 2.5%, but it's substantive. Libraries, we want as many as possible. We can't get wharfs. We haven't got barracks yet. We do want use our research progress. Peasant levy, sure, why not? We haven't got any fancy stuff yet. We're still a while away from that. We probably want the army initiative buff, as we're going to be fighting a good few wars early on. And army initiative is the strongest modifier in the entire game. Bridges. Let's have a look. I keep warping on about how strong control and proximity is in the early game, so I need to keep defending that. And then roads. Video integration. Now that's a really good buff for our king to have. I'm very happy with that. I do want Patos to get integrated as fast as possible, because then we can build a road up there and actually get some very good proximity. Is there any drawbacks to spamming War Parliament other than 10 legitimacy? Nope, War Parliament's overpowered. I should have done it in that last war. I do really think they need to edit the estate interactions. I do really like them, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan. I think it's great ideas, but they are just overpowered, right? And I think we can all agree that. They are beyond overpowered. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a little bit controversial, because what does an overpowered mechanic accomplish? It means you have to think very carefully about using it. But the problem is, you don't at the moment, because they're on like 5 or 10 year cooldowns. But if you made them 25, 40, 50 year cooldowns, like a golden age, then you're in a much better situation. As you're in a place where you've got to think really carefully about, do I really want to upgrade this or use this interaction? Otherwise, I can't do it for another 25 years. It's like if you use a war parliament early, and then you get invaded by someone else, and you can't use another war parliament. Or you use your legitimacy, and then you get like then like 20 years time you're approaching a civil war, and then you can't spam it out because you've already done it. That's a problem, and then it requires you to think about it, and that's a really good place for the game to be in, because you should have to think before every action, along the lines of, is this the best thing for me? Am I wasting it by going early? Ultimately, opportunity cost. It comes down to that again and again. And I do really think quite strongly that you should have to think through every action before you do it. But we're not there yet. Our trade, getting any more money from our trade yet? It's still really not doing that well. I do hope it will get better over time, but not going very well at the moment. Our heir can have a better education. He is shrewd, so military and admin ability. That's decent, to be fair. Let's put him to an admin education, as that's the best stat. Is he our only child at the moment? No, we've got Martin and we've got Alphonsas. Lovely. 2 good heirs. Kiev needs to get the Vulcan treatment. Yeah, we do need to murder them. They do seem to be murdering the Great Horde at the moment, and they're winning. So yeah, I do think you're right about Kiev being a problem. So we're going to have to think about dealing them. We really need to balance the budget. But we've beaten the Teutons now. That's a big thing for us, and we've got all these vassals. The problem is they're just not going to support us. Let's be real. They're never ever going to do that. They haven't done it this game so far, and we'll just be letting them run into Kiev for nothing. So if we are going to fight them, we need to get to a point where we've got a stronger army for them. So getting the army techs, getting some good professionals, rushing professional army is what we need to do. So that's going to take some time to get down there. So we've got 40 ducats in the bank at the moment. Any fancy things we can build? Clay. Well, we are using a lot of clay, but it's probably not our best upgrade at the moment. We're still recovering from all the people we lost to the Black Death. That's part of the problem. And there's a long old way to go. By the way, we are working quite hard on channel membership content at the moment. So if you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. It really helps the channel and it helps keep the content coming out. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so as well. It's good to see you on the stream. Do say hi in the chat. We've got this big old automation issue in Vilnius. Now, are we not the biggest trade? No, we are. So why are we not getting the trade value we deserve? I don't know. But even manual trade I couldn't get working. So maybe it's just the countries we're surrounded by, to be honest. Now, any other fancy buildings we can make? It's just people. We need more people. Oh my god, we get a free city in Vilnius? That's insane. Yes. Just go max minting a second to avoid a loan. That's brilliant. You get some insane buffs. We can then think about like moving our capital to the east now, and then putting a local governor in Vilnius. I actually think that would be a really good idea. I know it's a little bit controversial to move out of the historical capital, right? But getting a local governor this early would be really good to get control over our entire nation. And we could potentially put the new capital on one of these Prussian bits, like the Amber location, for instance. Like this is grasslands, flatland, coastal, on a river as well. And if you look at the river map mode, that's privateering. Let's not look at the privateering map mode. River map mode, you get really good control over Prussia. Or we can move up to Riga, and we get some really good control up here. And then we could focus on that naval proximity and getting it through the Amber province and stuff through that. And Riga would allow me to like RP my Latvian history. So, Riga is also coastal. It's also flat grasslands. Is this one down here grasslands or flatland? Grasslands. So what do you guys think? Do you want, if we were to move this, if we were to move our capital, do we want to do it to this little amber province here? So we get loads of amber and a really high control. Or we could put it in Riga, which is a harbour capacity. Now, we could also put a governor here because it's a city. I didn't expect it to be a city, to be honest. We'd have to do some work into getting a road there, which would be expensive. 1.2 grand, Jesus. But we'd have to do that with Vilnius as well. I guess it's a question for you guys. What do you guys think? Capital in Riga or Vilnius? The Vilnius is farmlands, which is obviously better than grasslands. It's inland, it's on a river. Actually not that bad a capital. It's actually a good river at that. Get this bit. Get that bit. Yeah, maybe just do a local governor in Riga. That could be the play. Do let me know what you guys think. Riga, local governor makes sense. Cool, anyone else? Do let me know in the chat if you want to have your say. The nobility are finally expanding farms for us. Well, that's nice. They've got some money. Happy with that. Our estates are finally getting quite profitable-ish. Which is decent, apart from our peasantry, obviously. The peasants are never profitable at the moment, which is a problem in itself. Capital Vilnius, local governor Riga. Okay, we'll get on that. Which means we have to... Oh, shit. I forgot about minting again. Okay, let's just go no minting for a bit. Let that tick down. Our cost of court is really expensive because we've taken so much land and our tax base ratios has gone up to complement it. So what I'm going to do is go a bit quasi austerity for a bit. We're going to cut back on our improved relations. We're going to cut back on our diplomatic spending. So what we're going to do is find a way to get as much money coming in and we can start building this road to Riga. And then we'll be able to get a governor there, and that'll be really good for our control and proximity because it's got a really good natural harbour. So we'll get lots of naval control. As long as we build up a navy and get some natural progress and stuff, it'll be fine. So what good RGOs are in the way of this road that we'd have to build to Riga? So it would go up here. It'd be legumes, lumber, wheat, livestock. So lots of food. Not the end of the world. Fur as well is decent. Obviously, we're just in a very heavy oversupply. Let's just keep focusing on profits for now, and then we can get the big old road done when we've got some more money in the bank. Another one in Königsberg later on, aka King of Kings. Ah, quoting Ozymandias, I see. Ooh, there goes that trade capacity. Anything else we want to do? There's a lot to do ultimately. We need to find a way to get that 50 quantity ultimately. We need professional armies. Let's check the institution. Map mode. Wolgast. What institutions do you have? They have professional armies. Ooh. Okay, but they don't like us. That's less fun. Denmark. Did Denmark like us? Right, let's free up our diplomat. We need to try and find a way to get these guys to be our friend. So, Lübeck hate us. Everyone hates us in Europe, it seems. Jesus, everyone does actually hate us. Is that because of our AE? I'm going to guess so. Oh yeah, antagonism. God, that's awful. Okay, maybe we can't get some knowledge sharing. Mint slider, it's down at 0 at the moment. We need to get this inflation over and done with. I've been praying for a balanced budget, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Maybe we need to trigger it with a loan. So, because that's one of the triggers. Or at least it will give us a ticket. So if we go to the fancy new credit system, we take a loan. Can we get one from a banking country so it's less? Try that. Because we really need balance the budget. That will get our inflation down very fast. Obviously going to be quite hard to get there, though. Right. Let's all peasant levy. That's good. Upgrade. Right. Actions. Can we request a loan, please? Yeah, Perusi will give us a loan of 1.3 with an interest of 10%. That's fine because it's one ducat, right? So we can't get balance the budget yet, sadly. Can get a clerical cabinet, artisan guilds, noble garrisons. Yeah, we'll go for an artisan guild. That production efficiency is really useful. Or irrigation projects. Farming cost minus 25% could be decent. I could be tempted to be fair, but we'll just go for artisan guilds. It's very strong. We'll go aristocratic support. We'll go serfdom support, and then we'll get sort of the stuff that we want. And then the next parliament, hopefully, we'll have balanced the budget by then. If we get a war done, we should be able to do. Let's think about that actually. Let's get a spy network going in Novgorod. Whoop. Then we can check again. Once we've got some more diplomats in the picture, we can check again, see if we can get some knowledge sharing with someone. We just need as much money coming in as possible. So our cost of court is expensive, as is the diplomatic slider, to be fair. This is the problem with having high wealth but low tax base. Now, we still have these really good wool RGOs. We're just struggling with people in Vilnius, to be fair. Might just be worth doing some integration into them for a bit, just to get the economics going. Do it. I know we've got some big old rebels coming up, but it'll be fine. Maybe you can do a war parliament if you're in a civil war. That could be a cheat code. Should we try that? Should we like provoke them? Doing 70% progress. Okay, we'll try and provoke them to make them rise up a bit earlier to try and spawn a war parliament. Bit cheesy, but if it works, it works. Yeah, it's going to take us a while to get a local governor in Riga, just because we need a road there, but 10k is a lot. And that's why we need to get our inflation down. That's part of the reason why it's so expensive. So pray for balance the budget, guys, because we're going to need it. So we finally have diplomats. So let's get a CB going, or at least a spy not going on Novgorod. Don't believe we have any others. No, we don't, sadly. We just got Martin, who is intelligent. Oh, he's gifted. Lovely. We will put him on diplomatic in education. We'd like him to be our big diplomat for our cabinet. Let's cut our diplomatic spending now. Just keep it on 1.05. Fine. That keeps Petosk nice and happy. I'd love to increase their integration speed, but proving quite hard at the moment. To be fair, we could enforce their culture. Problem is they are not a dominion. They can just move back, which is obviously quite hard. And it will just make them hate us. So I've sort of learned the lesson to just leave them as is, even if it would help us. Let's actually have a look through and check our subject capitals. Are they in good places? There we go. We've got the parliament done. That's great. And this guy could potentially be moved a bit better inwards. But Minsk is obviously their big old city. It's their only town. So maybe keep it there. Same with you. Same with you. There aren't very many ones that need change. This is probably the only one. Wild game, lumber, beeswax. Where's a better location? It's all woods anyway, so there isn't really that much. What about you? Any good RGOs? Horses is to be fair the only good RGO there, so I wouldn't even move you. Let's just keep them as it is. Let's not waste diplomats. It's fine. Polotsk. Ah, fair enough. But yeah, I'm just going to pretend I pronounced that right on my second try and not embarrass myself further. 112 ducats. So we could use some glass guilds. Get a few of you. God, you're expensive again. Why are we so expensive again? Masonry? Masonry. Right, let's deal with that problem first. So masons, you're all going to be subsidised, please. And we're going to make even more on you, because you just aren't putting the boots at the moment. I'm disappointed in you guys. There you go. 2 more to be built into the factory, please. And we just need Vilnius to fill up in people, and we can keep making economy here. The wealth's okay. 10's not great, but it's better than nothing. They're all granary towns, so we can maximise our pop growth speed as we rebound from the Black Death a little bit. We could go slave markets to try and get some early economy, but we're just making decent money as it is, even without minting. Let's just tax our clergy. We need money. We want to get this local governor and Riga down ASAP. And to be fair, roads increase our control, which increases our proximity, which increases our levy size. So if we want to beat Kiev, we're going to need a lot of levies. Now, they've just beaten the shit out of the Golden Horde. So I'm a bit worried about them. Because they've got a lot of professionals as well. So we're going to need some allies if we're going to beat them, I think. Unfortunately, everyone hates us. It's a slight problem. And we need to try and make friends with the Ottomans. They're doing well, though. As is Serbia. They're getting huge. The Byzantines are still alive. Castile is eating Portugal like every game ever. England's got quite few of the French vassals. Oh my god, look at Scotland. Scotland is going mad. Yes, slave markets, they enslave their own pops and you sell them off for a profit. That's essentially how a slave market works. They can be effective. It's just very, very situational. Is that you build them in places where you're trying to like culture convert, because you send those other cultures off to like the New World and stuff. That's part of the appeal. Probably the only appeal, to be honest. Charcoal kilns, I mean, why not? We'll get one. We can also start thinking about bog iron smelters. They're not going to be that profitable, but iron always is. Yeah, you're better just making slave centers and building them in other people and then just taking the slaves from there. Or just rampaging around and taking it. Like if we met Norse, for example. Religion location. Let's see, are there any other religions we could go? Is this Norse? That is another European folk religion. Yeah, the same sort of thing. We've got Shamanist. Is that the same sort of thing? Yeah, it is. They've got some fancy ones over here. Now, the army initiative is quite good. 20% army initiative. Tengri is like, yeah. Maybe going Orthodox is an idea, to be honest. We are getting some good pop growth from our current equilibrium, so I can't complain too much. 30 grain RGO, I mean, why not? We'll get some good money, and it's in Vilnius as well, which is more people to actually come to our capital. That would be nice. Then we get some good money. Ooh. God. Our masonry crisis is crazy. I can't get why we're so low on it. It's mental. Or nobility. You know you want to get some investment into our country going. Speaking of, do we want to give them anything extra? Integrate the Ruthenian laws is decent, to be fair. The one we were talking about earlier. Good thing we accepted that. The nobility, I mean, help our army quality, but it's just not good for their influence. We could probably give some to our burghers. Like building road rights could be decent. Yeah, let's do that. We want roads. We'll get our burghers to help us out with it. They've got a lot of money anyway. Maritime presence, innovative, naval. We'll worry about that when we get there. Land rights. Yeah, that's all fine. Market attraction could be decent. Yeah, let's do that, I guess. Dilute the influence of our other economies, and then the rest is fine. New laws, about education, barter system. No, we don't really need any of that. We just need more money, ultimately. And we're working quite hard on it. We just don't have the people. That's the problem. Tailors Guilds. So, yeah, let's do it in you. Why not? You've got a big old production efficiency modifier. 15% because there's a wall RGO there. That's insane. Let's get that done. No wonder they're so profitable. But we'll get there. Black Death, how's it doing? 31 million deaths. So, nowhere near what it usually is. Arter, we need money. Yes, we do. Let's steal it off our subject. Why not? But look, we are growing the economy. It's going quite well. We've rebounded from the Black Death. We can't complain too much. It's just the economy is quite slow in this day and age, to be honest. We've got to start focusing on Vilnius, and this is why we're trying to encourage migration over there. Problem is, we're so far into communism, our migration speed is really slow. Not a bad thing, because it's such a good value. It's just something that's sort of par for the course. Now, our burgers. Why are we not using your fancy money to make roads? I'll give you the privilege now, guys. Can you just repay that investment? I would appreciate that. We're still getting a lot of value out of decentralization, to be fair, but there's a reason why we're annexing our vassals so slowly. So if I was going to annex another vassal, who would it be? So where is this road network? The road network through you. And we're thinking of building a road network up here. So maybe you guys? Start annexation? Right, why not? 99 years, Jesus. I guess we're playing the long game. It'll be fine. Control groups. Yeah, I guess we'll just put one on our army. Why not? Makes it easier. We just need to integrate. We are getting some people over here. It's just not happening fast enough. But let's keep building up our capital while we're here. So stuff like scriptoriums, stuff like fancy burger buildings, and we'll get a lot of economic value out of it. The more people that flood in, the more jobs we've got available. It encourages more people in anyway. We'll get some better bonuses from it. Tailors guilds, sure. Glass guilds, sure. Why not? Let's get some fancy burger buildings doing. Now they've got the ability to buy roads, funneling some money into them is probably a good thing. It's finally cooler outside than in. Yes, I'm happy about that one. It's been hell. What part of England do you live in? Because it's been hell down here. Oh, Royal Court and Royal Garden is probably a good idea, to be fair. Before our economy gets too waylaid by fancy other stuff. One to think about. We need to get our crown power up there ultimately. How old is our heir? He is 8. For the spy network, 21. Oh, that's good. That means we can start getting the CB on them. We could go for war. Our son is born. Lovely. Control, thank you for your donations this stream. I'm going to name a son after you. Enjoy. And we'll push through. So yes, we need to go to Novgorod. So let's get this CB done. And we... Let's just cancel the spy network. Fine, it will hold for a month at least, or it should. That allows us to get over the threshold pretty quickly. Then we can start going for a little bit of a money war. Humiliate rival. Lovely, get it done. So we've got 21 months until that CB is done. I actually had pleasant sleep around 2-3 a.m. at 20 degrees C. I don't know why. I actually, I don't know. It's really weird. I actually sleep better when it's like stupid hot. I don't know why. It's really weird, but I do. I've like slept like a baby these last 3 days. It's been great, but I've struggled in the day. I went to the gym yesterday, and that was a bad idea. Really bad. It's the Latvian genes. Quite possibly, to be fair. Please don't talk about the temperature. It reminds me that tomorrow the forecast is 38 degrees Celsius. I'm currently slowly dying at 30. Yeah, I feel you, mate. We've been there these last 2 days. It was not fun. How do you sleep better? I don't know. It's really weird. I don't get it myself, but it just is. I'm sorry. I'm lucky in that respect. I don't know why. Come on, give us a balance to budget. Oh, we wanted to provoke that rebellion, didn't we? So, let's do it. 10 stability. We now have a cheeky rebellion. I'll stick these guys on corners. I think I'm pronouncing that right. People in the heat wave, please remember you're entitled to a bin. Yeah, no judgment here. Do you want to fill a bin with ice and go and stand in it? Get some water in there too? You're all set. The German... Oh my god, it's just Riga. What a terrible little rebellion. I'll just get Poland to do it for us. Yeah, we'll just send our vassals. I'm not even going to raise our army. What I am going to do is try and look for a war parliament. There we go. See? I'm a genius. And we get bonus the budget. All right. I'm actually cooking, right? We are bloody geniuses. Communalism, sure. Balance the budget, lovely. And we don't even need the loan to decrease, so we can do like a extra taxes. We can do a CB, larger levies. Do we want to try and deal with Kiev? Now, we've got Poland on side. So we could do a war in Kiev. Fabricate CB. Let's try it. In my region, it was over 40 degrees. It was hell. Yeah, I feel for you, mate. I've been there. Right, let's put all of these fancy vassals on... Wait, they're not even in the war. No, they're not. Okay, let's call them in. I want them to fight the war for us. I can't... Okay, I can't... Oh, no, they are in the war. It's not doing anything. Okay, so if we put them on aggressive, it should do it. Or we just put our little army on naval, and they should come to us. Come on, vassals, wake up. I don't want to call my levies. Are you coming? No. Well, I don't like you. Let's go and get some levies. See, they'll come now. Yeah, they have. Look, as soon as I spawn my levies. It's fine. It's only a little bit of min-maxing. It's not too bad. Oh no, Reece James is out with a hamstring injury. We'll miss the next 2 World Cup games. Yeah, we're cooked. Our squad selection is so terrible. We've picked like 1 right back. It's not good. Right, let's get it pushed. So let's go and get Riga done. You know what I need? I need a beer. Average Brit. He either goes for a beer or a cup of tea. There's no in between. Let's push through. Sorry, little rebellion. You were used against your own volition to get us to balance the budget, Parliament. But look at our inflation now. It's come down crazy. Really important. Now, our nobility aren't our biggest friends at the moment. But the good thing is we're decentralised. So their power is going to come down pretty quick. Focus on getting our fancy buildings up in Vilnius, getting our economy going, and some more money going into our burgers. So come on, please help me siege, guys. I don't have enough people to do it myself. If 1 beer doesn't fix it, a second will do. Now you're telling my kind of story. Oh no, our cost of court is killing us. Right, let's push. Let's maybe do some minting to get that cost of court back up, effectively. We've got some more money coming in. Keep the lights on. How's our CEB doing on Novgorod? It's going quite well. Lovely. And we've got the one on Kiev as well. We are quite low on that, but we do have Poland, theoretically. Hang on. How could we call them Poland here if we're not their ally? We've got to improve relations with them to get them back to being our friend. Let's do that quickly. Oh no, we failed to balance the budget. Well, we've still got 7% inflation now, so it's a lot better. I'm not complaining. Right, let's improve relations with Poland. Let's make them our friend again. If we get PU, that'd be brilliant. Right, come on, let's get the siege done. It's only 800 troops. I would send my people in, but I don't want to waste their manpower. Every single pop counts. What was this? Yeah, let's get some more industry going. Our cloth industry seems to be going quite well, which I am surprised about, to be fair. Whoever knows of the Lithuanian cloth industry? Anyone know why my capital location jumps from Hamburg to Lubeck only because I ended up having too many slaves in my capital? Because you probably lost it as a core. Your capital obviously has to be a core, right? And if you get over 50% of your population a different culture, then it's no longer a core. So you can sort of fuck yourself in that respect. So just assimilate it back, and you should be fine. Or make a governor there, and you'll be like we're planning to do with Riga. You will be fine regardless. I believe in you. Can we do any more estate interaction, or have we gone through that? Yeah, we've gone through that. That's fine. Let's take the levy size on our peasantry, though. If we want to do a war on Kiev, we're going to need as many people as possible. We're also probably going to need some regular troops. The thing is, we don't really have the economy to do it at the moment. We need to tax our nobility more. We could stick minting up, but I do want to get the inflation down as fast as possible. Obviously, due to we want to get those roads done. They're expensive, and we don't exactly have like fancy RGOs to abuse. I mean, the only one who thinks the Castilian AI is quite underpowered. Yeah, I mean, kinda. It doesn't really expand as much as it probably could. It does unify Iberia, though, and it never took Portugal in real life, right? Maybe it's a personal union, but never like itself. I mean, look at how well Scotland's doing in this game. It's kind of crazy. The AI is just very weird at the moment. Like, England is so much stronger than France in that first war now, which is good. I've actually seen France lose to England, which is nice. It's a very good change. Come on, can we just wipe the siege out? This is, like, anticlimactic as hell. Has this been the case all the time? Because I did not have capital jumping issue in my last game. It depends when you played. The system came in 1.2. The coring changed. So you lose any core if you're below. Wait, why can't I? Oh, they were just rejected it. Okay. Yeah, you lose any core if you go below 50%. So I'm guessing that's it. I might be wrong, but that's the only thing I can think up. So let's try and get this alliance of Poland, and then we can go after Kiev. Come on, tick speed. The RAM leak is still a big problem. The game does not go as fast as it should. Let's put it on speed 7 for a bit. Hopefully the doesn't cause us any issues. Do let me know if the stream quality is suffering. Let's take some stability there. I just want the siege over as fast as possible. If I turn off maximize tick speed, it's probably a bit more stable. Both games in 1.3.x patches? It could be a glitch then. If it's not meant to get rid of your capital, that could be a thing. It could very much be a glitch, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Right, minus 28%. We need to get this done. We are starting to starve a bit. Thank God we've got at least some food capacity. Not up to scratch. I do sort of want to just assault. But I'm not... the Poles are the war leader, unfortunately. Yo, why are we spending so much on our freaking diplomats? We've got the war goal on Novgorod, which is nice. We could always just declare that now. I wouldn't know we have our levies raised. Never mind. Let's get a spine off from Kiev growing just for the siege ability. Let's improve relations with someone who's like It's Serbia. Serbia is probably a good ally. Why not? Let's do Serbia. We can always cancel that in a bit. And then we want to get an alliance with Poland once we can. We're quite close, if I believe. So it's -6. That's fine. We'll get there pretty quick. Ask to improve cultural opinion. We don't need that yet. We're still making some decent money. Put our fort maintenance back. Overall, we've had a really good start. Considering we've got no RGOs to just like make an insane economy off of. We've pretty much tripled our tax base. So we're doing very, very well for ourselves. I'm not complaining one bit. Having our own market is quite important for that though. And that was the big win of our first war. Right, 14% chance. Come on guys, just get the siege over and done with. It's getting boring at this point. There we go. Right. Annex Revolta, or do we just take it and get some money at the same time? Do it. Let's get 10 ducats. There we go. Riga is now ours again. Thanks, dude. Now, let's put our levies down. How close are we to annexing Poland? Quite far away. Okay, because we're the likely target of a coalition. We could think about trying to eliminate our coalition. This would cost money, though. Antagonism. If we reduce that coalition size, who has over 50 antagonism with us? Denmark. So if we improve relations with Denmark, stop the possibility of them joining our coalition, then we can probably get Poland as an ally. We just got the army initiative buff as well, which would be huge for us. We're going to pause our cost of court investment. I might actually fill my bin with water and be like, listen, Nofab, do it. Do it. It's very valid in this weather. God, it's awful. Please, stop climate change, politicians. You know you can do it. Please do it. You have the power. Stop the climate change. Right, improve opinion. Let's get it done. Food access from Poland. Lovely. Now, will you ally me? Denmark. They will. Lovely. So we just need another diplomat and we'll be fine. Let's stop improving relations with Serbia for a moment. Chuck our diplomatic spending to the max. And God, Novgorod are getting absolutely cooked. Okay, our next parliament in 3 years. Let's do our estate interactions quickly. We want an emergency grant from our burghers, or if they seem to have bought something. So I hope that's some good roads. I think I'll just hold that for a bit until they get some more money. Some more legitimacy? Abso-frickin-lutely. Thank you very much, mate. Small diplomats? Nah, not really needed. Actually, to be fair, this is probably the scenario when it is needed. Because we're doing stuff. So, let's do that. Let's offer an alliance with Poland. Now, is there anyone else we want to sort of ally? Guarantee or do a defensive league? No. Okay, that's fine. Can we improve relations with... Oh, Pskov, are you independent? They are. Religious war. We haven't got Deisvart unlocked. Oh, we should have done that as our tech. Well, that's fine. Yeah, see, Spinal in you. We improve relations with some more of our vassals that don't really like us very much. We should be fine. Let's cut our diplomatic investment. God, that's very... Maybe let's not do a Spinal. I don't want to spend so much money on it. Denmark, we don't need you as more. You hate us anyway, so we're not going to change that. Let's get our diplomatic investment as low as possible. And let's get going on Kiev. Now, can we please... Poland? No, we can't. Because they have low manpower, they lack a border and levy availability. Okay, so we might have to wait. How long have we got on this war goal? Not that long, I don't think. Maybe 2 years? There should be a way we can tell, though. What do you think should be the economic phase of Lithuania? If you don't expand... I've gotten to about 200 tax space by 1410s, but I think I could do way better. If you're just sticking on the starting region, like the tall iron, lumber, bog iron spiral, probably your best bet. And it's what we'll do in later sessions. I've got a video on it coming out tomorrow, so that should help you out. The loan has expired. We're going to extend it. We're wasting money, sure, but we're increasing our chance to balance the budget, and that's the entire point. Let's curry favours with Poland. Spend money on a diplomat again. I know, it's expensive, but what we want to do is get that CB on Kiev. Kiev, however you pronounce it. See? My pronunciation is terrible. Don't need to tell anyone this, though. Now, we don't have a general. Where's my king? Why has he gone to one of our vassals? Come on, dude. They can't be that good. The Grand Duke has abandoned us. Well, we'll have to put someone else on the general. Oh, he's back. Yeah, he's back. I saw him. He's gone again. This dude is actually hiding from us. I do hate how the mechanics of like leaders work when you're in like different countries. It's really weird. Marija. Who do we want to name Marija after? There you go, Dice. You have a daughter named after you. Enjoy. Now, roads. We want to start the road to Riga. Is this the way to Riga? Do it. Expensive, probably not worth it considering we're about to go to war, but we'll start it. Stability, make our burgers like us. Well, if we steal the burgers' shit, we take their money, and then just pay to have them like us more, it's brilliant. I'm a genius. I have never thought through better strategies. Right, encourage migration. Are we getting Vilnius sorted out? We are. Lovely. So let's get some fancier buildings made. So Spinners Guild. Can we make any more in corners first? No, probably not. Our economy's doing well, though. Can't really complain. Oh, we've got a lot of money. Let's not waste it. Let's get some. Probably Armoured Horsemen is probably the best regiment in the game at the moment. Do it. If we could get a second unit as well before the war, that would be brilliant. Now, how close are Poland to joining the war now? They are -2. Okay, that's brilliant. So our strategy of like currying favours and stuff with them is working brilliantly. We'll get that done in soon. We have the diplomat ready to declare war on them if we want it. We'll just reduce the investment, more money coming in. Fish province we're just making is going to be getting a road that's nice. I mean, it's got a little bit of built up stuff in it, so it's not exactly the worst investment in the world. 29 ducats, yeah, we're keeping that for the balance the budget. A little bit sneaky, but it's fine. I'd love to actually have our ruler as a general, though. That would be a nice game, but sadly he's just ran off to one of our vassals. Love another professional army, though. But get at least our flanks filled with cav. It's not the end of the world. Poland, will you join? Not yet. It is -17 now. Come on, guys. We used to be friends. But we're still improving relations with them. It will come at some point. We could do like a... What if we... Covert action. Sabotage their reputation. Make Poland hate them more. Will Poland join? Yeah, we're clever. Poland will join now. Lovely. Let's get our diplomat ready. In the meantime, we'll make one more little building in Vilnius, maybe even 2. We're getting the big bucks of the Economic Development Board. Some more spinners. That sort of economy is going well. We've got a diplomat ready, and then we can declare war on Kiev. Now, I think that is a job for next session. So I'm going to go and watch some more of the World Cup games. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Thank you all for your help. I appreciate all of you. Good to see all of you. And yeah, this is our new series. So we're trying to get Lithuania to be a breadbasket. We're doing quite well. We built up our economy to the max. We pretty much times it by 4. We survived the shitty Black Death, even though it's not very good. But we did survive it a little bit, so we can't really complain. We're expanding. We've got a big war ahead of us that we're by no means guaranteed to win, so it's going to be a challenge. But thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next session. Catch you in a bit, guys. Thank you in a bit. See you soon.